Welcome to Legends on Paper, everyone. I'm Ravek Hunter, and this is our crew: Matt, Camille, Postal Mike, Spencer, and Uncle Mike. Gus is out this evening, so Postal Mike will be running his character, Philadelphus. So we'll see how that goes.
I'll just switch from one side to the other.
Are we going to do the
I
Forged
just
in
wanna hear
Fire thing where we each have our own little, like, when he calls our name, of our own little style?
That's true. Yeah, you should.
I've done
I
that.
should get a letter just to
I do
hold it
this,
up.
so no, you haven't.
You have to get up and sit in the chair on that side.
All right.
I just want to hear the voice.
I'm gonna just do.
I want to hear you do the voice, Philadelphus.
Sitting in the middle of the queen.
I am sitting over.
You're not, you're under your name.
So welcome to Greyhawk 5e campaign, episode number 3. As we get started, last week the crew managed to talk their way out of what could have been a very serious situation, standing in front of the magistrate of the trade district of Divers after a very violent and murderous evening the night before they had been jailed for. In any case, Jabal, their current employer, was not too thrilled about their situation. They have been a hand in helping them get out, at least recovering the stray brick of herbs take to Zendrelda'a in the forest, and managed to get them underway off into the gnarly forest, traveling the entire day and into the evening where they set camp. And as we begin tonight, and as you guys are clustered around no campfire, as you decided not to start any fire on the advice of Jabal in this very dangerous forest realm, a little gnome comes trotting through with a sign. The sign says, "Let's play D&D!"
And this is,
I was
so,
like,
so,
what does the sign say?
I'm like,
I was like, wow, what a cool start. We're just getting right into it.
yeah. I'm sorry.
So there is no no. But the evening, you guys are all at camp now. With a few of you had tents, I think. A hammock stretched between a couple of trees. Tabaxi up in a tree was the plan for the night's rest. Is there anything or any discussion that you guys wanted to have in the evening as you're just kind of settled around camp before we continue?
Well, Eurus wants to have lots of conversation.
I think that we can't have conversation because we all skillfully managed to shut yours down, and the second any of us open our mouths, he's not going to close his.
I imagine the hammock is more of a cocoon that I've been wrapped in at this point, and I'm just sort of swaying, like just spun around and just kind of boom.
All right. So the evening passes uneventfully. You wake up early in the morning to the sounds of the wilderness, as you might expect. You know, squirrels, chipmunks running about, birds flitting around the trees. And just as a reminder, this forest is a very, very high canopy of ip and oak with these huge, broad branches. Not difficult to climb up into the trees, although there's not a lot of branches at the below 30 feet. But above it, you have these huge branches that are easy to climb and even move from tree to tree to tree if you want to, not even being at Tabaxi. But just getting up there might be more of a challenge if you chose to go up into this forest canopy. And it seems like that's where a lot of the wildlife is at. You know, on the ground, there's a lot of brush, there's a lot of smaller saplings, and it's quite dense. So it's not like it's clear, but it's a lot more difficult to move through if you didn't have a a ranger this was their terrain. So that's not affecting you at all, fortunately, as long as you stay within, what, 30 feet of you or something? Is that what it is?
It kind of just says my group. It doesn't give me a foot.
As long as you haven't ungrouped the party.
I think it's difficult
Just that
terrain
it does not slow
specifically.
your group's travel.
Yeah, so I think as long as you guys are relatively close, if it becomes necessary.
I would say as long as they're like within the ability for me to guide.
I believe there is an actual staff for that, but I'm not too worried about it unless you guys get separated. So yeah, the next morning, you're probably still a couple of days away from Zendrelda's tower, based on the information that you have, just to follow this game trail. Due south, curving a little bit here and there, and Jabal warned you not to take any of the offshoot trails that you see, to stay on the specific trail all the way there. You have a draft horse with you.
Two.
Two of them, yes, two of them, and they're plodding along through. I don't know if your skill or your feet allows for them to move
They're part of our party.
the same, but I'll give that, I'll concede that for now, that they can, just so that you guys can move at the same rate. So, what do you want to do?
Would someone mind untying me, please?
It's like a muffled.
You've like turned over and over in your
Like-
hammock.
We
Basically
probably have to bring
cocooned.
him with us.
As funny as this is, I'll let him down. Like, yeah. I like. Oh no! I do a little sleight of hands that way. Like, as I walk past, I just untie one side, so one side falls and the other side stays up. So you're hanging upside down.
I'm hanging upside down, and I imagine it like
Yes.
until I smack
Slam
on
to
the
the back
ground.
of the tree as it goes down.
That was a funny joke that you guys played. I'm glad we are all having fun.
Such an accommodating fellow, isn't he?
Yeah. Can I do a beginning perception check to see just
Yeah, sure.
just in general?
Yep, absolutely.
Sweet.
Just the general
Yeah,
listening.
the surroundings.
Okay. Right. With your perception and your acute hearing and knowing this terrain so well, seems very natural. And then the woodland sounds are very typical. Nothing out of the ordinary at this point.
Sure. Well, in terms of what might bother us this morning, I think we're quite clear whether we want to start moving now or not.
And can Twig do the same thing from her view of the
From her
trees
perch, yeah.
of the boardwalk that she's looking at? So 17.
Yeah, I mean, I say boardwalk, but it's
I know,
just,
yeah, they can't.
wide,
Like that.
yeah, wide limbs. Would you roll?
17.
17, okay. So for you being up there, you can actually see a lot more of the birds and various furry creatures running around. But listening intently and looking, through the opening between the branches and so forth, everything seems fairly natural to you as well. Nothing hiding, nothing threatening that you're, aware of.
I'll get up here, just some tasty looking furry things,
Yes.
myself included.
Did the drug lord that hired you tell us why we have to be careful in these woods?
I assume he told us nothing valuable.
We might not have
Said- 'cause
remembered to
there's-
ask.
There's stuff in the woods. No, I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
you mentioned something.
What
He said
kind
there
of
was
stuff?
Me can't remember. I can't remember.
He mentioned wildlife. He said the wildlife can be very dangerous and is attracted to sound and fire. Philadelphia says as he's blessing his armor for the day.
And he also mentioned the word dangerous as part of that statement. So,
Yeah.
and on point of fact, he's a spice merchant, not a drug lord. As far as you know.
Yeah, he's a spice. The spice must flow. We know.
He did mention that, like, that's the reason we didn't light a campfire last night, is that we would have drawn the attention of something.
That's what I'm asking.
Well,
What?
I don't remember.
maybe we've been around Philadelphia for too long, but we took it on faith.
You are learning.
You're glad to be here, aren't you? I can see it in your face.
That's a word some people might use to describe it. Not me, but
Your
some.
face?
Glad.
Honestly, I just wanted a trip to Greyhawk. I could go without all this forest in the middle, to be clear.
That's
I mean,
just great.
no. It's dirty and it's dark and there's no people.
That's what makes
Well,
it great.
Ugh.
let's get underway then and get out of these woods as soon as possible. We may want to occasionally glance up there. Looks fairly easy enough to travel.
Can I see that if I stay in the canopy? Can I see them from below? Like I'll know how to stay in.
Yeah, I mean,
Step
there would
with
be
them.
points where you don't see them clearly, but you would be able to see them well enough to follow or to stay along with them.
Yeah, and I'll hear Eurus's mouth.
I can
Yes.
I can lead us down here if you want to stay.
Yeah, I'll take the watch up here.
Sure.
You know, especially for you with your climbing ability, you find it very easy to move through these, along these wide branches.
I'm gonna
from
run you
tree to
the
tree.
man so you can keep track of him who's keeping track of us as you go through.
Send the frog up.
Good plan.
Yeah, you get his bones back.
Glad we talked.
I hate to
You're lucky.
disagree, friends, but if Twig is above us, how will we speak to her?
I'm sure if she wants to say something, she'll shout down.
Oh, but I thought we would take this time to get to know each other better. And
No, that's fine.
How long do you think we can keep looking?
I'll climb up on the horse.
We can't.
Okay, you're riding one of the draft
At least get
horses?
to the
Yeah.
tower.
And is anybody else riding a draft horse?
No, I'm just gonna lead.
Okay. No?
Oh,
that
you have a whole horse? No.
I think Philadelphus was last.
Oh,
time.
but I like
Was here.
riding
Wait,
with
put
you.
Philadelphus on a horse. Yeah, let's put Philadelphus.
Yeah, he
on a
doesn't have
horse.
the same move rate, does he?
Oh no, I'm very slow.
Clink, clank, clink, clank,
Okay.
clink,
Right,
clank.
so yeah, so you guys are all moving around at the same rate. Twig, you're on average, about 30 feet above them.
Okay.
So you're at a pretty good height above the rest of the group, but you're moving right along with them as well. Do you want to put yourselves in a marching order?
So is Borax not letting me on the horse with him?
I don't care. He can get in front. All right, so he's in front. Who's Eurus? That thing.
Yours is riding
Here.
bitch with you.
Philadelphia is on the other horse, right?
Philadelphus is on the other horse.
I'll keep pace with whoever's in front from above.
Okay.
Twigs.
So imagine that Twig is directly on top of Olsen.
We're about to have a 30-foot.
Hey, we can go ahead and I've got a couple of really cool little draft horse type
Oh,
things
sweet.
provided by Uncle Mike some time
Oh my
ago
God, they have players
that you can actually
That's the
ride upon.
I've ever seen.
That's so cute.
Oh, well, here's
Okay.
something.
No, you gotta slide it in from the side.
Oh, I understand how this is.
Nooked in there.
Yeah. Oh, good job.
Sweet. Yeah, those are pretty cool.
As an air genasi, do you weigh like basically nothing? You're mostly made of air.
I like to think so. I went on the lower side of average for game mechanic terms, but at some point I'll be able to walk on water. So.
That's sick.
Are you a particularly lightweight
Yes.
humanoid?
Yes.
But it doesn't affect your strength to carry, right?
My strength is 8.
Oh wow! So you're
I'm
barely pulling yourself
lean.
up. It's a good thing you're very light as air. You're light as air.
Made of air.
Light as a feather. Stick this up.
So, sticking along the trail, as you intend to do during the day.
Actually, let me just move myself like right up there by you
Okay.
because I am afraid of woods.
Who's up front? Is it yours?
Olsen is up front.
Olsen's up front.
Yes.
Okay,
Olsen's up front, then our tabby
Yeah,
friend is
she's in
directly
par with
above
me,
him.
just in the canopies.
got it.
So in case you guys are curious, 15 times your strength score is how much you can carry before you're over encumbered.
Yep. Yeah, what's your character sheet on D&D Beyond should
Is it
tell you.
times the score or times the modifier?
Score.
Times the score.
Well, if it's times
Otherwise,
the
we wouldn't be able to
modifier.
lift shit.
That's fair. Just curious.
15 times 5. Is,
During the
I
day,
can't
is there
remember.
anything in particular during the day that you'd like to do as you travel along?
I mean, if I happen across a slow fuzzy thing, I might eat it.
Oh, there are lots of little. I mean, they're not so slow. I mean, you get chipmunks and squirrels and creatures like that. That if you wanted to chase one down, you might be able to.
I mean, she's not going to go too far out of her way.
So roll a
I'm just
performance.
losing the
See
group.
if you can find
but-
breakfast real quick.
Performance or survival?
Survival. Sorry. Yes.
That's a 14.
14 total.
Yep.
Okay, so you managed to grab a squirrel by the tail and have your way with it.
You want me to shoot? You want me to shoot a bird down for you?
Phrasing after the furry conversation.
Borax is going to teach Eurus how to play the quiet game.
No.
Did you know I could hold my breath forever? Would you like to see? It is a fun party trick.
I mean, that's one way to keep it
One.
quiet.
2, 3.
Count. 3 hours later.
Yeah. 74.
I'm just thinking, oh, my friends are impressed.
We are.
Do you not have
I'm
one?
impressed.
Actually, so.
Nazi's can hold their breaths indefinitely.
And once again, evening approaches then. Do you want to travel throughout the night or find a campsite again?
What is the path like? Is it still
It's
branches and undergrowth?
Yeah, I mean that hasn't changed as you've continued further and further south. The trail that you're following is like a game trail, and so sometimes you see it somewhat clearly, and sometimes you see patches of it.
Probably better to not travel at night, I would guess.
Yeah.
With Ravek as our DM, especially.
Well, I mean, because of the rangers,
I feel confident in getting
yeah, I
this
mean,
through during the night time.
he has
but
pretty
it's a
good
matter of-
ideas where he's going, but it's up to you. If you do travel all night, there is a possibility of exhaustion. You know, that might set in after some
We know
time.
you, sir.
I, for one, could use a cat nap.
Are we
So once again,
almost good to set up camp? There's so much walking.
okay.
There's literally a horse.
I'm not sharing with the dwarf.
Why not?
Yeah, why?
That sounded, why not?
We would break the horse.
It's a draft horse.
Good point. Good.
Now, the one thing that has changed during the day, as you begin to talk about finding a campsite with the sun going down, is it's beginning to rain. And it's just starting to come down slowly right now. The canopy keeping a good bit of it off, but still it's drizzling down from the leaves where it lands, and then, so on and so forth as it makes its way to the forest floor. Did anyone want to look for a campsite then? If you do, you can roll in survival.
I suppose we all do as we're looking,
Yeah.
as we're.
Survival. Sure, that's a skill I have.
17. Oh, wait, I get advantage because it's a wisdom check.
Yes, you do.
17.
Still 17. Anybody above a 17?
Nope. No.
Okay.
I got a really bad failure because I hate forests.
I forgot to use guidance.
Elf, find us someplace to sleep.
Right.
So 17 is still a great roll. And as you're looking around, you see what you feel like not quite as good as the night before, but you see a little area that you think is going to be accommodating enough. But as you notice this space, you hear from a distance, kind of off further south and maybe off to the left, off the trail.
The way we're moving, or the way
The way
we
you're
came
going.
from?
The way you're
Okay.
going, because you're moving south. Off in the distance, not too close, but close enough to hear kind of the clank of metal against metal. Just like almost jostling that's echoing through.
Like a walking scrape or like a...
Just like random, nothing, no pattern to it.
Oh.
But you just, at first you hear a little bit of a, clinking of metal. Again, it's not real close, but if you'd like to roll a perception.
I would, because that sounds.
He's
Let
the
my
only
brother guide you.
I was gonna
Right,
say he's the only
sorry.
one.
Yeah, he's the only one that's hearing it so far.
My brother guides you, Wilson.
Okay, that's a
can you
D4,
guide him?
right?
You wouldn't even know to guide him because he's the only one who knows.
Okay.
You just want to jump in there and say no.
I got 2 character sheets. I'm trying to remember everything.
That's an 11.
11, okay. Yeah, so you hear that clink of metal, very distinct. It must be loud from where it was coming from, but it's best you can tell is it's maybe a quarter mile away, maybe a little closer, but nothing else.
Just by the way, everybody, there is a certain sound in the distance. It sounds like clanking metal. I'm not sure quite exactly stemming from what, but it is a little bit away from us. We're about a quarter mile. Doesn't seem that like it's posing any danger to us, but it is out there.
Is it coming this way?
Is it coming this way?
It was just a
Sound
brief
like it's going
noise.
parallel,
It
or-
was just a brief noise, and
Oh,
then
so it's not
yeah,
occurring.
no, it's not continuous. no.
Okay. Well, it happened like really quick, and then it stopped. I didn't get quite like a directional sense from it.
Cat,
Yep.
can you see at night?
Yeah, my name's Olsen, by the way, and she also has a name. I don't know if you want to use him, but that'd be
No,
great.
that's fine. Can you see at night?
Yes. Can you see at night?
About this far.
You didn't ask me how far I can see at night. You just asked me.
He
if I
was
can
able
see
to
it.
shoot the petals off a dandelion at night, he said.
There was alcohol involved.
And the dandelion was like right here.
He says there's metal that way. Is there any way you could check without putting yourself in danger before we decide to stop?
Stand here and stare in a direction.
I pointed.
It's pretty bold to not learn the names of people you're asking for help.
13. So no. Not much.
So you're basically at this point just
Looking
No.
the direction
Listening-
he's
No, I
pointing.
was asking, do you want to go scout
Oh,
and
do
see what
I
it
want
is?
to go see what it is?
Since you're way up there.
No, not particularly.
All right.
okay.
Well,
So you continue to set up camp.
did he say anything about getting off the path? Don't step
Yeah,
off
don't
the
do it.
path, you'll die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. I guess we'll put up tent, but we should keep a watch. Mm-hmm. Especially if this rain picks up, it'll be harder to hear anybody coming.
Hey, Olsen, mind taking watch again?
Sure.
watch?
I can either start it or I can finish it, whatever we want.
I'd rather finish it. I need some sleep to study.
Sure. So then I can start watch for 4.
Should we
Okay.
watch in pairs? That way we have someone to
Sure.
speak to and occupy our time.
If you'd like to stay up with me, you're more.
Yes.
No speaking.
So
will be very
Olsen
quiet.
and Eurus. Okay. Going to be the first watch, and who's going to take second watch?
Oryx once last.
I'll take whichever. It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, if they're going to cover 4 hours, well, then you're not going to get your 8 hours, are you? So
Oh, Guy or Philadelphus.
You can stay with me for half of it, and then like I can still continue like finish it with something else. I only need 4 hours to get.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, I will stay up with you for half of it to help it go by faster. Sure.
okay, so then that's Eurus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Eurus is going to be half of one, and then who's going to do the rest of
should-
one, or start at 2?
We should pair up those who have dark vision with someone who does not have dark vision, so at least always one person has dark vision. That being, I don't do a watch with Mike.
That's a good plan.
Well,
I will
Borax
take
is going to be
watch.
last, then either Philadelphus or Twig.
I'll go.
Okay.
My brother has blessed me with the ability to see the dark, so I will join one of you two.
I'll do second watch.
All right, so Figaro will be second, and then with Philadelphus.
I'm sorry about my throat. I have a cold.
I thought you sounded different.
Okay. All right, so I get Olsen and Eurus, and
On Twig's watch, she'll like split her time between the canopy and the ground. Just like,
Okay.
covering all the bases.
all right. So as you begin to settle into the camp, unless there's anything you want to do before you start your rest,
Is the rain picking up at all?
the rain is definitely affecting your perception of sound around you as it's hitting, the leaves fairly hard. It is picking up over during the first watch. It'll begin to pick up quite significantly. You can find places where you can kind of stay out of it, under certain places. Since you have such a wide canopy, it kind of drizzles down in different places, openings that allow some of it to come through, but it's a very
It's
noisy.
a two-man tent if one of you doesn't want to be wet.
Yeah. So
I do not say that, but
Thought
it
you
is.
had a tent.
I do have a tent. I don't say that.
Oh.
the Nat Marsh, that is Celadon, way over.
Oh, yeah, that's way over.
Yeah, to the.
Over
I'm
yonder.
trying to remind myself of things.
Yep.
If no one else wants to take him up on that offer, I will join Borax.
You're on watch.
Aren't you guys supposed to be getting some sleep?
How far away are we from camp?
Well, you're on.
You're
watch.
on
He's
watch.
sleeping.
Yeah. So right now we have Olsen and
You can't be sleeping when you're on watch.
Well, I'm saying after.
Oh,
Okay. All right. So Olsen and yours. If we're going to go into the watch order now, you guys can roll a perception for your watch if you like.
19.
19.
15.
50. So you're just toward the end of your half watch. you can hear, for the position that you are in camp, and even with there's a slight break in the rain, that just for a moment you hear what sounds like this gruff laughter coming from a distance to the south, like the south and east, not necessarily on the path, but somewhere further and deeper into the forest. And it's just for a moment that you hear this gruff laughter. You can also get the scent, at the same time that you hear it, you smell smoke, like from a campfire, that's kind of drifted through the forest over the past few hours. And then the rain starts coming down heavy again, and you don't hear anything further.
So I'm mid-conversation with
Sitting
you.
there picking my toes.
Yeah. And I'm so where did you two meet? You and your toad friend.
Oh, me and Bruggy. Well, you see,
Laughter. Did you hear that?
I didn't.
I can smell smoke.
Then you start to smell it too.
That I can smell. I didn't hear the laughter, but I smell the smoke. Where'd you hear it?
That way, southwest, southeast.
Which is approximately where you heard the sound of the.
That's about where I heard the sound of the metal. Do you want to wake everybody else up, or do you want to check it out ourselves? Or I can go. I can
Laughter
follow
was
Sam over
very
there.
gruff. I don't know if it is somebody we can make friends with or somebody that might pose a threat to us. I don't think we should split up though.
Sure.
I don't know what to do.
I don't want to wake up the wizard. I just don't. I don't feel like being the one to do that. You know?
I don't want to wake up Twig.
That's fair.
Well,
it's a precarious situation now, isn't it?
The plane is 30 feet up in the canopy right now, right? So
I'll go wake up Twig. I can get up there. Unless you... Oh, wait, no, you're pretty dexterous.
No,
That's fine.
no. I'm not a climber.
All right, I'll go get it.
Why are we waking
Are you
anybody
afraid
up?
of heights?
Far away. It's probably fine. What's the worst that could possibly happen?
you're asleep.
You are our leader.
I'm also
He's talking you asleep.
And Borax is talking to us. You are our leader. I leave the judgment of it up to you.
Well, now, hold on a minute. You know, I know
It was said in the court of law.
that's fair. However, you know, I'm not much of a group type. You know, this is the first time I specifically left my old family of wood elves to be on my own. This is the first time I've been with a group in quite a long time.
What happened with your family?
Nothing happened. I'm not, you know, it's just I throughout growing up, I started to really enjoy the wild, and I chose to take on exploring that front rather than
Growing up
staying
where?
within people. I grew up on the forest that borders the Net Marsh, which I've been
Yours
looking
is
for for
actually
like
on
10
yours.
minutes. I couldn't find it. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah, south
Yeah.
portion of the Celadon.
The Celadon Forest.
Eurus is actually like, he takes out a notepad as someone's finally opening up to
Yeah, the
him.
Net Marsh is where I found Bruggy.
Well, he seems like a very fine friend.
He's wonderful.
Sorry.
I think, however, right now, rather than bother everyone and wake everyone up, we should see what comes of it through the rest of our watch, seeing as I still have a good amount of time before I have to do any sort of rest.
Perhaps we should just pass on this knowledge to whoever is next.
Yeah, that's kind of my point, is that I can stay with whoever's next for a little bit more and then pass on whatever we heard while you go get your long rest. So we should see, I think, what comes of it first.
Well, it was very nice talking to you. I appreciate you communicating.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you know, if we're going to be traveling together, might as well.
Yeah.
At least you know my name.
Well, I think Borax just needs to warm up a little bit.
I feel called out.
Good. I get close and just between you and me, I think he's actually very lonely. That's why he desperately wants somebody to share his tent with him.
That's a fair point. You should.
I'm going to.
When we're done with the rest, why don't you go?
Yes. And I'm going to be close, but not close enough that it's inappropriate.
He might be cold. You could get a little close.
That's a good point.
There you go.
You are very wisely close.
Great.
Right down the garden path.
Spoon.
I'm gonna very sneakily try to get into the
All of a
tent.
sudden, the tent.
That
bursts
one on my
into flames.
stealth check.
Okay. So you go tripping into the tent, falling over Borak, waking him up.
Oh no!
Sorry, Borax.
It's very light though.
You gave him.
Very.
There's 5 of you. I knew it would be you. I'll turn over and go back to sleep.
I kind of whisper. I'm glad you are getting to know us.
Does anything happen with the noise throughout the rest of my?
No. Nope, that was the only. It's just raining heavily, distorting any or obscuring any sound that may, from the forest. So no, it's
Okay. Quiet. Whoever then goes to do the next watch, I will pass on the knowledge that it happened.
Okay, so that'd be Figaro and Philadelphus that you advise of this sound of laughter in the forest that you just heard.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's nothing, but I just saw you pop.
I mean, you do seem, you know the forest better than I do.
Sure. Yeah. No.
hope.
It's been pretty much my life. So yeah. But usually, it is weird to hear sounds like that, but it didn't repeat itself, nor did it get closer. So I don't know. It's probably nothing.
It sounds like other campers are out.
Yeah.
Well, if there are other campers, then we get to know what the thing is. If anything bad happens to them that we hear, then we know why we shouldn't light fire.
Sure.
And if nothing bad happens, then I'm sure it's fine.
Sure. I'm going to bed.
All right, so then.
Well, doing whatever.
So for Figaro and Philadelphus, then on watch 2, go ahead and roll a perception.
Should I be doing it at like disadvantage because I can't see jack shit?
No, this is it's more for what you're hearing.
Gotcha.
18.
Perception?
Yes.
Helps that we have the
That
same
is 16.
See, okay. So a little bit better as toward the end of the second watch, as the storm that's been passing through, and again, you can't even see it, but you can hear it, and the rain coming down fairly heavily begins to subside a little bit. The storm is coming in waves. It's very, very typical of this part of the Flanness during the springtime. So for those of you that have been in this area for a little bit of time, this larger area of Greyhawk, then it's not a surprise to you. But during one of these, in between these waves of rain that's coming through, once again, you hear the laughter, this gruff laughter. And it's just more than just one, it's like several. But it's very gruff, and it's almost like conversational for a moment. You can't really make out words, but you can tell that there's some conversation that just echoes through the forest, and you also smell the smoke from the campfire.
Do we only smell the campfire smoke?
No.
We hear
You
the
smell it the
smells?
whole time.
Yeah,
The whole time,
yeah.
As much as we could, considering it's rain.
Right.
Just sounds like someone out in the same woods as we are.
Any chance that's the threat that we were warned about?
That sounds exactly as they described. Perhaps when we get closer, I can hand them pamphlets, but I can't get this voice right.
I remember it is higher pitched. I don't
His
know.
voice is jolly. It was a little Scottish.
Yeah, it's very
Perhaps
Scottish.
when we get closer, I can hand them pamphlets.
Hey.
That's the best I'm gonna get.
Okay.
I'm gonna regret asking. So what is your pitch for your religion anyway?
Why would you ask me that? This is the worst time for you to be asking me.
I know.
Not dead. 2 weeks.
There is one true God.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Who's a god?
Yeah.
There is one true God in the world, and that is my brother, Guy, who is a god.
Okay, you might want to try softening your opening. I'm gonna try coaching him on how, where I am critiquing his pitch the entire time.
And the whole time he's trying to give you advice on your facial hair and how it should not be on your face.
Funny thing about that.
Somehow I feel like this conversation is both ways falling on deaf ears.
Yeah.
So,
As a random, I just rolled 3d6.
all right. So the rest of your watch goes on uneventful.
Just so I'm declaring it, Philadelphus blesses his armor. He has to do it every day
Okay.
to get the benefit.
And you hear the sound of the laughter a couple more times during your watch. Again, it doesn't seem like it's coming closer to you. It just sounds like what you said earlier, other people in the woods, camping. And then your watch comes to an end. So, Borax and Twig awaken.
I wake you up by like throwing a stone at your tent.
I'll make sure I nudge him.
You
Wait.
immediately smell the campfire smoke as you wake up,
Okay.
and as you exit your tent, it's just pretty strong at this point. Now that the rain has died down, as it wafts through the woods. Initially, your thought would probably be that somebody started a fire, a campfire in the party.
Well, I can see by the lack of fire that that's not the case.
Yep.
But I'm gonna make sure that I wake up Eurus. I'm going on watch.
Thank you for telling me.
That's so funny.
So I go out there, yawn, stretch, pee behind a tree to keep away raccoons.
Twig is just staring down at you.
Angel.
I'm sharpening my claws on the. I'm gonna whisper, "Who's making breakfast?"
Well, none of us till the sun comes up.
I smell fire.
Can we hear? Do we hear
You
anything?
can roll perception.
I feel like we would have told you guys too.
Yeah. You pass on the message.
Do you?
21.
We tell them.
Okay. You awake in a sweat and realize, shit, I didn't tell Borax and Twig that we heard Boris' laughter coming from the
I feel
forest.
like I've been talking a lot, so I'm trying to step back. But
No, this is ideal.
21.
it appears
21,
that
okay.
someone has camped near us. We can smell the fire, the smoke from their fire, and we hear the occasional laughter.
Did you scout to see who it is?
He looks down at his armor and back at you.
Did the A team scout to see who it was?
I don't know. Damn. I don't know who the A team is.
Did you roll a perception, Twig?
I did. It's a 7.
A 7. Okay. So you're busy with your claw sharpening.
And the conversation.
Yeah, Borax. Yeah, you immediately, with the scent of the campfire here. It's not the raucous laughter, but you hear the echo of some guttural conversation. It's like very harsh, but they're not this. Some of it's kind of like pitched loudly for a moment and then quiet, and then all goes quiet.
What are you hearing?
There's voices.
Which way?
I point in the generic dark forest that way.
Yeah, it's southeast.
I hear more than one voice. You might not want to go too close if you're going to check it out. But if they heard it and we're hearing it, they've been up all night. It might be better to just let it be, and when we leave in the morning, hopefully they're sleeping it off.
I mean, I could just zip over on the trees and check it out.
All right.
I'll be quiet.
Don't die.
All right, so Twig is going to stay in the canopy and try to stealthily head the direction that...
Okay.
Borax
Keep
will put his
Borax
back up against the tree and look at the darkness around him and admire the varying shades of black and gray.
Yes, and you can see, some
yeah.
stars shining
like
through
a-
between the clouds and the canopy
It's like
10
2 and
hours.
2, 3.
of leaves.
If there's 12 of us, if there's 12 hours in a night and 12 hours in a day, figure 4 hours per watch.
Are you moving? How are
Or
you
if it's
moving?
an 8-hour fast.
as stealthily as I can through the treetops.
Okay, so stealth
Yes.
is like typical terrain. It's different than being with the ranger because you're actually trying to move quietly,
Correct.
and so you can move half your just normal movement. How far do you want to? How far do you want to go toward the? As you move further south and southeast, you can. You smell the smoke from the beginning, and you can. It's coming stronger and stronger, so you have a pretty good idea of where to go. And
Can I see any smoke now that I'm closer, or when I get...
no, after the first 100 yards or so, you still smell it, and you can start hearing, just passively, that there are just a low sound of this very these voices. You still can't make out the words specifically, but it's a very choppy sounding language. and sometimes it gets really brusque and aggressive, and then calms down again to a lower, quiet canter of cadence. Thank you. Jesus, where's my
We knew what you
words today? Cadence of speaking. So you're getting closer. Maybe 100 more yards away.
She would want to get as close as she can to potentially see something.
Okay, roll a stealth as you get up close. You can start to see firelight down below as you get closer.
13.
13, okay. So moving 30 feet above the ground or so, you see that there's a rather wide clearing. There's a number of trees that have been cut. You can see that there's a pretty large fire, almost like a bonfire. You can smell it, you can see the light. There are figures that some of them are lying down. They're large and well, no, actually, they're lean and tall. They're humanoid. Looks like they're wearing leather armor, even as they sleep. There's at least 6, 8 of them around this fire, this bonfire. There's a tent that looks like it's been basically just stitched together roughly with hide, and you can see there's a bunch of felled logs around the area, especially around the fire itself, where you see a couple of these figures that are sitting and speaking. A third one on the other side of the fire that's awake. Pretty much your view through the leaves.
Do I recognize what they are, or are they any particular
You're a little
race,
bit.
or-
You're at this point. You're probably about. You have dark vision, but that's not helping you with the light, with the firelight. So at this point, you're probably about 60 feet from the edge of the clearing. So you're still in the forest, up, in the trees, but you can travel another 60 feet to the edge where there are no trees in the, that's, I mean, you can go as far as you
Right.
want.
No, she's not going to want to do that, but can I, from where I am, can I get an idea of whether they are just hanging out, whether they're preparing for a move imminently, or they're just chilling at their campsite?
Well, a lot of them seem asleep. They're prone.
Okay.
With only like 3 of them that are sitting upright in a sitting position. Again, you're looking through the leaves, about at least 60 feet away, and you're still 30 feet up. You can get closer and stay up if you want to get a better view. So you're only kind of seeing parts of the camp. You're not seeing the full camp.
Gotcha. And how far off the path am I now?
That's hard to roll a perception. See if you kind of have some idea.
Ooh, tonight. 10.
10. 10 is average. You think, broadly, that you're anywhere between 100 and 200 yards off the path.
Okay. She will make her way quietly back to camp to report what she sees.
All right, so as you turn to go,
Fall out of the tree.
you hear in a whispered voice, "What you doing?"
She's gonna turn to see who said psst.
In the darker shadow against the trunk of one of the trees, you see a man just kind of emerge out of this shadowy area that you didn't see before. So focused on the camp as you were, and passively you didn't pick him up. And he's dressed in leathers. He's got a hooded cloak on, humanoid. As he pulls back his hood from what's left of the drizzling rain is still coming down just a little bit. You can tell that he's human. He's probably middle-aged, and he's got a bow. You can see that he's got dagger, sword. You can see the protrusions, from underneath his cloak. Wearing boots, up in the tree with you. Only about maybe 15 feet away. And as he comes out of the darkness, staring at you, smiles. Baxi, we don't see your kind here very often. But I suppose if I were to find you anywhere in this forest, it'd be up in the trees.
I thought I smelled someone cooking breakfast.
Oh, that lot. Are you going to kill them?
Nope, just having a look.
Oh.
How about you?
Thought about it.
Why? Who are they?
Oh, those things are nasty. Can't you smell them? Just unwashed bodies. They're grotesque creatures. They're orcs from the Black Hand tribe. They come through here once, quite often actually, lately. The druids don't care for them much. I've got stuff to do. Otherwise, I might stick around and gather a few of my friends and put them out of their misery. Are you traveling alone?
No. Nope, I've got a big group.
Oh,
Real chill reaction to random stranger in the woods.
You know yourself.
There's at least 20 of them.
My boyfriend's there too.
it as well.
He's got the gun.
We don't have business in the woods. We're just trying to make our way through.
Ah, well, I see. Well, the druids of the Gnarley sent me on a special mission. I don't have a whole lot of time to stick around, but if you'd like to gather your friends, I would be happy to help us all rid us of this scourge of nasty creatures. It'd just be me and the bear, though.
You have a bear?
Roll perception.
In the tree. Well, that's better.
It is the tree.
That's a 22.
22.
Bear and archdruid.
So just naturally, you look down, and 30 feet below you, you see the large mass of the figure of a bear just move a little bit as it's craning its neck up, staring at you.
I'm Twig. What's your name?
Twig, nice to meet you. My name's Jaru.
Does the bear have a name?
It does.
Do I have to ask it myself, or can you tell me?
Oh. Forgive me, I'm not among civilized folk very often. I spend most of my time out here in the forest. His name is Brusk.
Yeah, well, she found me with the bear.
Brusk. Yes, his name is Brusk.
You'd hate our party. All they do is talk.
And you hear just a from below at the sound of his name. He's talking quietly, but
She'll nod her head down in case you can see her.
so what of it? Shall we gather your friends and kill them all?
I don't think that they'd be very agreeable. We have other business.
It works, my dear. I mean, what fun.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that there's anything to be gained, really.
Well, I would agree that they probably don't have much treasure to gain. Mostly poor creatures. It seems like they're just basically a patrol. I didn't see anyone of any particular influence.
I try to make a habit of not doing things that aren't going to make me money or potentially rid the world of people who deserve to die.
I'll just send a sparrow to the swan maze and let them know. And I'm sure they'll take care of them within the next few days. But,
What quest are you on?
oh, well, it's quite simple, actually. The Druid of the Grove, she asked me to go to the village of Hamlet and take a stroll up to this temple that's been in ruins for some time since the evil was run out of there, to find out what state of affairs might find it in and if there's anything disagreeable in there anymore. So, simple task, really. Shouldn't take me long.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
It's probably something we should have asked someone a long time ago, but Is there a reason that we shouldn't light a fire in the woods at night here?
Those guys. To start.
What's to finish?
Well, there's all manner of nasty creatures you might find in this wood. And some more agreeable ones as well, like myself and the other rangers of the Swan that you might find. Of course, depending on what you're doing, they might shoot first and ask questions later, but you seemed harmless enough and interested in what was going on down below that you clearly viewed these orcish creatures as a threat. And then, of course, more of the Black Hand tribe that might flow through here from time to time. But beasts of every sort. Too numerous for me to list.
You ever heard of Zendrelda'a?
Zendrelda'a, yes, of course.
What do you know of her?
Well, pretty sure she's fucking nuts.
Dangerous nuts or just interesting nuts?
Are you going to see her?
We are?
I would say interesting at first, crosser and dangerous. But underlying it all, she's absolutely mad. Building a lighthouse is what she's doing in the middle of the gnarly forest. She's absolutely convinced that there's going to be a great flood after a bunch of wars, terrible wars that are going to tear Greyhawk, the world of the Flannis, the continent of Flannis asunder. And it will flood all the way down to where she's building her lighthouse in the Gnarley Wood. I don't believe it. No one does. She's been out there for a long time building it. But she's made a good start. It's pretty tall. But she's nowhere near to finishing.
So you've seen it?
Oh, yes, of course.
Anything of note between here and there that I should know about? You know, to stay safe and...
Well, stay on the trail if you can. Just keep following it straight south and you'll find her tower. You're a day away, maybe. Depending on the weather and how well you travel through the forest. You seem to travel pretty well in the trees. If the rest of your friends can travel up here as well, this is the way to go. If they cannot, they might have a little bit more difficulty and take some more time. But just be wary. Zendrelda'a has been in the forest by her lonesome for a long time. And I can tell you that she pacifies her time in a way that I guess one of her sort only could, being out here so long. Just with an herbal remedy. Enough said.
Yeah. That's what.
Everyone has their vices, I suppose, Jaru. If I wanted to find you, where would I find you?
Oh, well, I have well, I have a home in the village of Hamlet, and I'll be there for at least 2-3 weeks, perhaps, as I delve into the remnants of the temple, just up maybe 6 miles north of Nulb, another little village. It's a nasty little thing. You don't want to go there. Hamlet, by far, is the more quaint and clean village than the little hovels. No, but sadly, those poor folk have been through so much over the past 10 years or so, with the wars and the evil that the temple attracted. So I'm just going to find out if there's anything left for the druids to be concerned about, or if it's just simply stones that have been cast asunder.
Jaru, it was a pleasure to make your acquaintance. If I'm ever in Hamlet, I owe you an ale.
Well, sounds good. All right, well,
Safe travels.
safe to you as well. And he just kind of melds back into the darkness. Quietly.
And we will head back to the camp.
Okay, roll stealth if you're stealthing.
That is an 18.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you feel. I mean, as well as he moved so just silently and into the dark the way he did, disappearing, as you're casting a glance down to see the bear just kind of like lumbering off in the opposite direction of where their orcs were, but you don't see Jaru with him. And then you quietly move along the branches back to the camp. What do you do when you get there?
When I get there, I am going to approach Borax, so I assume he's still awake. And I'm going to say, see anything?
Yes. I saw my hand, but only because I went. How dark is it here?
How dark was it?
Very. But the sun should be up soon. I feel like I've been leaning on this tree forever.
It's orcs. Stinky orcs. But they don't seem to be moving, and they don't seem to know that we're here.
Both of those are probably in our favor.
Yeah.
Was it like one little orc and you were able to dispatch them quickly?
Well, I didn't try. I was going to see if they had anything worth stealing, but I got a little distracted. I made a friend. His name's Jaru. He has a bear. Anyway.
Do you see Jaru now?
I didn't bring him back. I'm sure he could have followed me if he was interested in us, but he has his own business that he's going to do. He wanted us to kill a bunch of orcs with him, but I didn't figure we had time for that.
Okay. Sounds good.
I did ask him, though.
I'll take one of his famous side steps.
Did ask him why we shouldn't be lighting fires or making noise at night. Or orcs aren't the nastiest thing in this woods. Apparently one of them, but not the nastiest. So we definitely should not be making fires or noise at night. And he said, just follow the path. So our intel from our boss seems to be pretty sound.
All right. Great.
That's all I have to report.
Okay. Well, I'm going to walk around the perimeter of this, look for something obvious, and hope I don't find it.
Make a Dixie.
You said I could
Just him?
You said I could see.
You got that big hat on. It must be hard to see.
Nope.
What'd you roll?
6.
Okay, so he starts to walk around the perimeter, again, tripping and falling a couple times over as he hits some of the roots and
When
the
he
rut.
stumbles one, he'll stop. This is a very good place to stop.
And then before too long, the sun begins to come up. And no longer raining as the sun comes up. Very misty this morning as this fog just enshrouds the forest all around you and up in the trees, the canopy above you and around you. You don't hear anything. You can still smell the remnants of the smoke, fairly strong.
As they start waking up, I'll whisper to them. Twig spotted and saw orcs.
Oh, holy shit, dude. That's crazy.
Now, they were about at least 200 yards away.
She didn't tell me that.
Oh, that's true.
Twig spotted and saw orcs.
You all right?
We should probably get going
They
quietly.
didn't see me. I only saw about, half a dozen, maybe a couple more of them. Could have been more, though, because I didn't get much closer.
Us? No.
They didn't appear to be agitated. They appeared to just be doing what we were doing, which is sleeping. Didn't see a reason to poke them.
I've met many half-orcs and they seemed pretty pleasant.
Half-orcs are quite different.
Wouldn't they be only half different?
Yeah,
That's fair.
that's what I thought too.
Well, it's
They cannot be reasoned with.
generally, I mean, it depends on how smart.
I'm gonna
the
prestidigitation
orc is,
dry my tent before I roll it up.
Okay, all right. And just as a point of reference, orcs, as you know them from Warcraft or D&D5e, the big hulking figures, that's not them. These are the original orcs, the thinner, leaner humanoids that have kind of the pig faces and the big snouts and the tusks.
So
and-
mob wins.
Huh?
So mob wins.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda.
No, I don't.
Okay, you have no
I was
Yeah.
before that generation of Zelda, so not me. But yeah, they're more leaner type of. To me, I think of them a lot like the Hobbit orcs from the animated.
Oh, yeah,
So they are
original
So they are
animation.
generally not
Gotcha.
like
Yeah, so
bartering type.
no, they're very ferocious
Yes.
and generally thought of as evil.
Sweet.
Some of the half orcs, in this world, you can get along with, but people are wary of them. There are grades of how close to a half orc or a full orc. Some of them are that, some lend themselves well in cities, some don't. But anyway, so that's the orc in Greyhawk.
They did appear like they had been there for a moment. They'd cut down quite a few trees and had a pretty good sized fire going. I'd say if we stuck to the path and were quiet about it, we could pass by without being noticed.
How close to the direction that we're going are they?
They were about 100 yards away, 100 to 200 yards off the path, if I had to guess.
Does anybody actually speak Orcish? Any of your characters?
Nope.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Does he? No. All right.
I did also find a man.
Oh.
Saw him
Tonight?
Saw him and walked straight up to
Quite a
him.
night, didn't you?
Saw him and walked straight up to him. His name's Jeru. He was interested in
Oh,
me.
you saw a real person.
He was a real person.
Oh, good.
You're just, was he held captive? Like, what's up?
He was scouting orcs. He's on his own business, going back to Hamlet to check out some ruined temples. Didn't sound interesting or lucrative. Neither did killing the orcs, which he wanted us to do. So I told him we would take a pass on that. But he did tell me orcs are nasty business, but maybe not the nastiest. However, we may also run upon some friendlies that will shoot first and ask questions later. So
I'm good, great, yeah. Wonderful.
be on point, Ranger.
This forest is not the best one I've been in.
This place is gnarly.
It's gnarly.
He did say, stay on the path, heading south, and we would make it to Zendrelda'a eventually.
I'll do my best to keep us on.
All right.
I'm more of a beach person myself.
Beach.
Nowhere near a beach right now.
No.
Oh, also, if you see any bears, don't kill them immediately. It might be might be a Jaru's buddy.
All right.
You had the bear buddy?
He had a bear buddy.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Cooler than a frog buddy.
Well,
Depends on the frog.
all right. Bruggy will get bigger, just you wait.
This is a big bear.
Eventually it'll be the same.
Thank you for doing that for us, Nick.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Did you know if he followed us back to camp? Or was he on his own mission?
He seemed pretty busy to me. I didn't check. He seemed fairly nice. I wasn't worried about it.
As far as you can either scavenge or you can carry. Right, I'll leave it up to you.
Like, how often are you like, hey guys, just so you know, you get
Whenever you're in a place where you can buy it, and you keep your own rations. So if you don't have it, then you can tell me that you want to scavenge, and then you just roll survival and so on and so forth. Couldn't help you in like a dungeon or anything like that, but you always should think about having the same with other consumables like arrows and bolts and things like that. If you need to buy them, just buy them when you're in a if you've used any, between one scene and the next, and scenes are generally going to be, ending and beginning in
What I do
a village or a city.
On
or
my
something
character
like
sheet, I just type O's
Sure.
for each bolt, and then I can just cross them off as I use them.
Nice.
Yeah, so you have to keep track of every arrow you fire. Just just every once in a while buy some.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, before we get on the road, rations in the middle. Prestidigitation, it all tastes like bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
Oh my
Good
god.
flavor.
What? Prestidigitation
Yes.
can do seasoning, yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
One of those little known things about prestidigitation. Everybody only uses it to clean. Wow, so you have a very seasoned, uncooked ration.
Hardtack.
Yeah,
You're
basically.
like a real wizard,
It's
huh?
weird. My sheet only says 1 day of rations, but I'm pretty sure you start with 10.
You start with
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
It comes with most of the kits.
Interesting.
Yeah, unless you have
You've been
an
eating a
encumbrance
lot.
issue,
apparently. It's braggy.
because that stuff can add up in weight. So just keep that in mind. And in the forest, you wouldn't have too much trouble finding somebody just time
Well, that's
consuming.
kind of why I asked you, because I was like, I can't get this food. She
Yeah,
need it.
yeah, you certainly can. Anything else before you begin your continuation of travels?
Good to go.
Just gonna groom myself a little.
So during the day, there's a few scatterings of rain. Nothing heavy, but just enough to keep you fairly wet as you travel. The fog dissipates by about midday, and by around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you come to a clearing. The pathway just seems like it gets more traveled. And then there's this, it just suddenly opens up into a very, very wide clearing. And you see what appears to be an incomplete tower that rises at least 100 feet into the air. In this, basically a grassy glade. There's no scaffolding circling the structure. And there's a complete absence of any type of construction materials or tools, except for a simple cart that is overgrown with ivy. Doesn't look like it has moved anywhere in a while. You see that there's a short flight of steps that leads to a small shaded porch, where there's an oaken door that leads into the tower. You see windows up in the tower, but none at ground level, and the windows are quite small. From what you can see from the edge of the forest where you are, and the windows that you can see, and it's still daytime, they seem to be curtained, as you can't really see inside them or what's beyond the window. And as you take this all in, suddenly there's a screech of rage from inside the tower. It sounds like a woman in distress. Then there's a heavy thump and another shriek, followed by a clattering of objects, as if items inside the tower are just being tossed around. What are you gonna do?
Friends, let's go.
Does
Why?
this look like an unfinished lighthouse to Twig?
It looks like an unfinished tower.
Yeah.
What's Twig's background? As far as... No, she didn't have much... She didn't come from a coastal area.
Would
so
I recognize it as an unfinished lighthouse?
You recognize it, all of you recognize it as an unfinished tower. Mm-hmm. And so if that turns into a lighthouse at some point, I mean, it's already 100 feet high.
But does like have that taper to it?
At this point, not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm running up to the door.
You're running up to the door?
Like, you run, I'd like.
Wait, he said we were still at the end of a clearing. Yeah, before
Yeah,
you
you're at the
run,
edge of the clearing.
we stopped you.
She's in trouble.
This might
Don't we have somewhere to be?
be where we're supposed to
Isn't
be.
this where we're supposed to be?
There is a
I
cart.
thought you're looking for Zendrelda'a.
That may
We're
be-
looking for Zendrelda'a, who lives in a tower in the woods,
Why
unless
didn't
there
you
is
tell me
another
he lived in a
tower.
tower?
Do you know?
You didn't ask.
He specifically said Zendrelda's tower.
He
To
does,
you.
yeah.
Not to Borax.
You never asked us.
She also said that there'd be
They
a cart.
also said that during the trial.
There does seem to be a cart here. And my friend
I'm
Jeru
trying to
said
go.
that the
So
tower-
are you
We're
gonna try
not,
and...
no, we're not letting him.
Okay,
No.
roll athletics, the two of you.
Oh
Can I roll
god.
acrobatics to escape a
Or,
grapple?
yeah, either one. Whichever's better.
24.
Yeah. Athletics? No.
No.
Roll it. No.
All right, so you managed to weasel out of his hurried grasp.
I go after you like, wait,
She is screaming. We have to help.
Angry.
She seems mad. She doesn't seem like she's in peril.
Jeru did say she was going to be mad,
It
but I thought
sounded-
he meant the other kind
It
of.
sounded distressed to me. I'm running towards the center.
Okay, so it's about a 30-foot distance from the edge of the clearing where the
Yeah.
path is to the porch. Come
on,
as you're
horses.
streaking, as you're just running forward very quickly, what are the rest of you doing?
I assume that he
Slowly
gets a
meandering
30
up with the horses.
Yeah.
I assume he gets a 30. He has a 30-foot head start from the
Yeah,
rest of
what's-
us.
yeah.
Let's fill the opposite animal handling.
3.
Wait
Wisdom.
for a +3?
Yeah.
Oh, he's fine.
But that's Eurus that's running, right?
Eurus is running. He was us here.
I was
Yeah.
going to see if I was going to help lead Philadelphus' horse,
Oh, I
or if
see.
I was going to let him.
So are the rest of you just like moving up casually,
Yeah.
slowly? Okay.
I'll be right behind
I'll be
him,
I'll be
so-
on his heels
Do you
and I'll
want
say, I think
spice
you should
nuggets?
try calling her name first before just running in there.
That's a good idea. Zendrelda'a, we are here to help you if you are in danger.
My God.
All right. So
Oh, yep, I'm
as you're
you go
running up,
first.
okay, as you're running up, the head of the rest of the group is there, surprised probably that you're just breaking for it, shouting as you go. You hear from inside the tower. You hear more clearly than the rest of them. Back in the box, don't you?
Dwarf, do you feel?
And then
the
more
need to-
clattering of things like sound like being thrown or tossed or broken.
Calms down.
Maybe we should help her get together, whatever she's doing.
But you don't think she was responding to you.
No,
You just hear
How high
the
up's the nearest window?
nearest window is second floor. It's going to be like
Why don't you just go to the
15
door?
feet higher.
This was funnier.
15 feet. And the windows are small. They're not wide windows, so for some might be a tight squeeze.
I just kind of want to try to look through it before we
Okay.
go into the tower.
Okay, so it's 15 feet higher than the ground. Off the ground is the first one.
I'm
Be more
opening the door
amenable
and going
to
in.
strangers
Just to be clear.
climbing 50
You brought up the
in our window.
All this is going on. You're
While all this is
going
going on, let me
Yeah.
get a
I
map.
don't have public manners. I
I
don't.
feel like I need to get a map. So, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go and take our break, and when we come back, we're going to have our map set up, and we're going to see how this goes with the multi-pronged attack that's taking place on this tower.
We're attacking me?
Most of the party is
Seems like
meandering
a,
down.
yeah, it's just slow meandering attack. All right, we'll see you guys.
Tower.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'm walking at a
I'm
90-degree angle.
The picture of Olsen doing that, and then Twig just.
Yeah.
I'm going up with a friendly smile and I'm palming my cards in the back of in my hand just in
Okay.
case.
We'll get to that after the break. So. Welcome back, everyone. As we go into the second half of this session, the group has found a tower they presume is Zendrelda's, and screams of a woman from inside. Eurus has rushed up to the door with the rest of the party lagging behind, but we'll see what happens next. So, you get to the door as the rest of the group is emerging from the forest behind you at whatever pace they choose.
Eurus, wait! Don't tick her off.
She sounds like she is in trouble.
No, stop, don't.
What are you doing when you get to the door?
I'm opening it.
Okay, so as you attempt to open it, it's just like, you realize that it moves just a little bit. It doesn't have like a knob or a latch. You don't see any place to put a key, just simply a handle. And you can see that it opens inward. And as you push inward, you realize that it must be blocked from the other side by either a bar or something else heavy that's not allowing you to push it. It just moves just fractionally in the...
I just start.
Zendrelda'a, we are here to help you.
You hear from where you're standing, you hear at the door, you hear the clattering and clunk and things being thrown. And a woman just angry at whatever's happened, just the noises she's making. Oh, no, not what? Get out, you fool! Just these strange statements she's making from inside, all punctuated by that. You hear what sounds like a bookshelf going over, chairs being thrown, a table tumbling. You know, whatever's happening inside, it's something pretty serious. And then as soon as you knock forcibly on the door, it goes silent.
Twig is going to try to get to Eurus as fast as she can.
Okay. You're running up at this
Yeah.
point. Now you're going to be able to get there. Go ahead and put your where you are now.
I think you're
She
about.
just wants to whisper in his ear that
Well-
she may be crazy, and let's not rush into anything.
Oh, the door is blocked anyway, but it sounds like she is no longer in danger, I suppose.
It may be imaginary danger, is what I'm saying.
The twig is rushing up. What's
Climbing up the side of
okay? So you're gonna rush up with you're gonna use your 35 or 30 movement to rush up to the tower, and then where on the tower did you want to attempt to climb?
on this.
First window.
So
How
the
many-
windows are basically you can only see like partial, you know, you can't see the whole, you know, all the way around the tower.
Tell us it to the unfinished part.
Yeah, so the 100 feet. 100 feet to the first level of where there's windows, and they're basically at the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west.
Okay.
You see, you know, you presume they're the same on the other side. But at 90-degree angles, you see these windows, and they're small windows, you know, only, again, about maybe 1.5 feet high, maybe 1.5 feet wide.
So in about 18 seconds, I'd be able to reach the top.
Well, first of all, your climbing speed is going to be half your regular movement,
Okay.
and your range ability didn't help you with that because
No.
and there's a possibility that if you don't make a dexterity save, athletics or acrobatics, you could fall. So depending on the challenge that is, but it's made of brick, and it's mortared. Some sort of mortar has been used. Actually, no, there's no mortar. It's just like big blocks, and they look as if they've been placed atop each other. They're so close together with so fine of a separation between one block and the other. You can't see if any mortar's been used. So it's not like a regular brick house, you know, brick and mortar.
Okay.
Finding handholds might be, you know,
Seeing is once I heard the knock, I heard the noise stop. I'm gonna give it like 10 seconds. If the door opens, I will be with the party. If not, I'm gonna start to go up.
all right, so go ahead and position yourself where you want to be. And then Borax.
Works is gonna climb down off the horse and pull it over in front of him so he's got partial cover.
Cover behind the draft doors.
Yep.
All right, and Figaro. What's Figaro doing?
Figaro is going to go up next, like if there's room, like over here, so that way I'm out of line of, like door opens inward, out of line of sight of the door in case this thing opens, but also close enough that in case Figaro starts saying some dumb shit, I can step in.
Now the door is about 5 feet above the ground because there's a porch in front of it. There's steps leading up to the porch.
He's on the porch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I too am worried
I'm on
about
the
Big Rose saying some dumb shit.
Literally.
You said your own name.
I did ask her,
I can.
and I was like, what?
Thank you for calling me out on the fact that I urines or urine like
Urine.
what urine? Yeah, urine's name.
Oh, Lord.
What is your name again?
Eurus.
Thank you.
Eurus Ren. Okay.
You.
So does everybody position yourselves where you want on the map?
Where do we want
Yes.
our
What's Philadelphia doing, boss?
murder hobo?
Philadelphia is going to look at what you're doing with the horse and take the same stance.
If he's looking underneath it.
Yeah.
Are you sure he wouldn't go up and ring the doorbell and say, I am here to...
Have you heard the good news?
Let's see how how her temperament is first.
At Twig's earliest opportunity, she wants to still try and knock on the door and get it and yell a message into the occupant.
Okay. So you all arrive and do what you're doing in this at the end of this round as he has knocked and everything's gone silent. And so as we progress into the second, or the moments after that, you hear what sounds like clack, clack, clack of feet moving over stone, coming louder and louder toward the door. And then the heavy bar or something is moved from behind. It sounds like you all would know what that would sound like, a bar being moved. And it's kind of, the creak and the clunk. The door just kind of releases from its sturdy position, and then it opens. Hello!
Hello.
And you see a woman, human, tall. She's got light skin, Iridian, and she's got long, dark black hair. She looks like she's probably in her 40s, maybe. Dark eyes, and very wide as she opens them. Yes, how can I help you?
Hello. Are you Zendrelda'a?
I am. Come another time, come.
We have your delivery.
We have your spices.
You call
Open,
through
get down here with that package.
Yeah.
Dalton's standing, didn't actually climb yet.
Yeah. He's next to us. He's on the. He's on the
I was
fence.
gonna wait to see if the door actually.
He's literally on the fence.
Yes.
She creaks it open again. My package?
The spices that you ordered from.
Oh, yes, the spices. Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
But you have something for us, correct?
Yes, I do. It's out of the box right now. Would you like to help me?
Dear.
Get it back in the box.
What is it?
Oh, it's one of Lord Henway's crazy animals that he wanted. Would you like to, please, come in. And she opens the door to let you, but first she's kind of like, you kind of presented yourself as if you had.
I did.
Okay, so she's kind of looking to see what you're doing at this point as you're all, if you go in. She opens the door.
I'm going to turn and just say, friends, she has invited us inside.
I'll hop down off the fence,
Okay.
and I'll start to be well. If you have an animal problem, I might be able to be of use. I've caught my fair share in the past using many means. Now chasing one around a house is not really what I do, but I might be able to help you out. Not really alluding to the fact that, like, yes, I said hi, but I didn't tell her where the fact.
Okay. So if you wish to go in, you can. She opens the door wide for you. Be careful of the step down.
Philadelphus is going to hitch the horse somewhere.
I catch it to those trees.
Yeah.
And Twig is gonna whisper to
And that's far enough
Olsen,
away from Manticore, whatever.
don't give her the package yet. It's happy spaces, if you know what I mean. We might want to keep her grounded for a moment.
So I go in and I hear you say,
Now the place inside is a wreck. Furniture, shelving, glassware, everything, pottery is in just shambles and shattered all over the floor. You can't hardly walk without walking over something that's broken and damaged.
"Oh, I'm barefoot. That sucks."
And so, yeah, maybe. So for you, it would be pretty much difficult terrain moving through here. But you don't see a creature of any sort. There's a box standing just next to the stairway that leads down into, it's just from the door into the interior of the tower. You can see that there's a stairway that leads up to other floors in the tower. But you don't see a creature anywhere. And Zendrelda's just like standing there as you come in, whoever's coming in. So you're here for Lord Henway's creature. And you brought my package, yes? I know you have it. Would you care to give it over then?
Why don't we deal with the creature first?
Oh, you say it as if it's so easy. All right, fine. We'll deal with the creature. Go ahead, do it.
Do I see any tracks, like footprints or any markings that have been made by the thing around the house?
You can roll perception. Again, there's a lot of debris on the floor.
I lose my advantage because I'm not technically in the forest.
Right.
Okay.
And it's stone floor.
16.
16? I mean, it's such a wreck in here.
Sure.
That there's certainly no trails or tracks or anything. That she's just looking at you, all of you, and go ahead and do it. Get it in the box. And she indicates this box, this big crate that's sitting right there next to the steps that you guys came down, or whoever came down into the room where she's standing.
This is a very big box.
I came in.
We all
there.
going in.
How
I
big?
did come in.
How big is this creature?
Big enough to go in the box.
What is the creature?
Oh, it's a, I don't know exactly what you call it. It's we'll say it's a dog.
Does it look like a dog?
It does certainly look kind of like a dog.
I don't see a dog.
I don't either, but you will. It's underneath the stairs.
That we entered?
No, the stairs that are leading to another level of the
I'll
tower.
go over and shut the
Yeah,
door
but-
behind us
yeah.
so the dog can't get out.
Oh, good idea. Good idea. You shut the door.
Oh,
How
okay.
foolish of me.
Pull out one of my rations and I hand it over to you and say, "Can you make this smell like meat?"
He did it all.
Yeah, but
Fresh meat.
it only lasts for an hour.
Yeah.
And no, this is fresh meat.
Oh, you won't care for that, I'm afraid. If you'd slit a wrist, perhaps.
Oh!
Prestidigitation make it smell like stuff.
Blood, even. I don't think you have a seasoning for blood.
Does this
It doesn't say.
is dog a loose interpretation?
Oh, very loose indeed, yes, very loose.
Closer to
I have a net.
wolf?
Oh, closer to demon, perhaps? I don't know.
All right.
I don't know what it is.
Urisa's walking towards the stairs with his hand out, and he stops when he hears that and slowly backs back
Would
up.
I know of anything dog shaped that prefers blood?
That'd be an Arcana check.
I know that's like, could be a ton of things, but.
Well, I mean, you can, if you want, any that wants to roll a Arcana, I suppose.
A 9.
That's cocked. If 11.
Nope.
I pretend I'm a card wizard.
I mean, it's to modern, you could probably equate it to, well,
Is under the stairway have some unnatural darkness that we can't see into?
no, that's why I chased him in. He won't
No,
come
that
out.
was Mike to Ravek.
Oh,
I'm looking at.
that's how I sound now.
All right.
I mean, it's dark under the, there's a few sconces on the wall. If there were anything lit on any surface within here, it would have been out by now. Only the sconces on the wall are keeping the area lit. Plus, there's no windows down here. There's no light coming from the top of the stairway. All you can see is, as it curves around, is a door, a closed door to the second level.
Can I ask her, like, is the dog about this size?
Oh no! You see that crate? And she indicates the crate that bigger than a coffin.
Oh my god.
Probably about 6 feet wide, by about 6 feet long, 4 foot wide, and another 4 or 5 feet in height.
That's much bigger than this.
Yeah. Yes.
I immediately, I put Brungy in the barrel immediately.
Okay.
Anyone have any traps?
Didn't
I
you?
do. I have a hunting trap, actually.
Didn't you grab a squirrel earlier? No, you ate the squirrel.
I ate the squirrel.
You had a scroll?
I did. It was good. Next time I have one, I'll share it with you.
I do have.
Let's.
You seem to be very hesitant about going after this dog. You were so sure you could get
Yeah, I didn't know who was bigger than me.
Oh, yes.
It was
You didn't ask.
And not
I
yeah.
will stand over here about 10 feet away from under the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
At 10 feet, can I see anything in the darkness?
Yeah, in the shadows. What grabs your attention more than any of the crates or anything else that are just in pieces near and around it are these two red glowing orbs staring back at you. And they seem close to the floor.
Twig is gonna cast armor a bag at this on herself.
Okay.
Has this nut dog harmed you?
Oh, well, it's I've been chasing it. You see, I was so lucky to have found it. And when it was asleep, you see. And I was not able to, I was able to get it in the crate, and I brought it here to my house. And unfortunately, when it woke up, I had left it, the box not completely secure, and it managed to get out. And so I've been chasing it around all day.
Do you have
You have
something that
some-
might put it to sleep?
I don't.
Do you have
Ellie.
ropes or anything?
I do have rope and a trap. I could, however, I'm decent with animals. I could just try to see if it
Oh, you should definitely do
reacts
that.
well. You know, I might lose a finger, but it could also be really fun.
Whatever
Your,
you
your
do.
plan is just to grab it and throw in that box.
We'll see how it reacts. I'm gonna walk to his side, so like still 10 feet away, and I'm gonna.
Believe in guy who is a guts. I'm guiding you.
Sure. I'm gonna put a hand out, and I'm gonna go. Hey, boy.
So as you're walking up there, she says, "Whatever you do, don't kill it. If you destroy the creature, then it will be worth nothing to me or Lord Henway. We must get it alive and intact back in the box." So you walk up. Roll initiative.
Just him?
Well, it's no. Everybody needs to roll initiative.
I was gonna say, this just in, doesn't he go first?
Sigh.
Sorry, guys. I didn't expect that to happen.
Oh, goodness.
You're really focused on getting
Not
this
gonna be me.
animal.
I
taken
thought we were
care
just having a funny moment, and then we would continue to try other things.
Well, you might. We'll see where this
Doesn't
goes.
have red glowing eyes.
That's
I
totally
mean,
fair. That's why I just kind of thought I'd get bitten and we'd all laugh. And then
She
it'd
did
be-
say she did say demon.
So you were surprised.
You get your
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
No, I mean, regardless of the initiative, you're surprised.
Sure.
As you walk up and you just like treating it, in the manner in which you would expect to treat a dog.
Sure.
That you think it is. And as you get close, how close did you come? Like right up to the...
Within 10 feet. I was
within
right
10 feet.
next to
Okay. All right. The glowing eyes that you can see low to the ground immediately raise up as it leaps forward, attacking you.
Right.
And you see this skeletal figure of a mastiff type, a huge, what presumably a dog, with red glowing eyes. You can see that it's bones that the creature's made up of. Is mostly fleshless, but not completely. As it bounds forward. And so the necrotic energy that's this fueling this thing.
This seems like vital information to tell us. That's not a dog.
Just such a mess. Look at my hair. Her hair is quite a mess. It's been a long day. And it's lunging towards you, trying to claw and bite with these massive incisors that are sticking up. I shouldn't roll a D30, I guess.
I still make an animal.
On your initiative, you can. So I don't think, is the 14 hit?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're hit by the claw.
Sure.
And then 23 is the bite.
The hit or damage?
To hit.
Okay, did you forget we're level 1?
No.
That would that would be 1 point away from. No, that'd be 1 point away from killing me.
So 6 points of damage from the
No, that-
claws.
Okay.
And from the bite, an 8. 8 points of damage from the bite.
8, and what was the first one?
6. 6 from the claws, 8 from the
you're
bite.
down.
I fall.
Okay. And then it just, we go into initiative. All right, so
I hope someone has a spell that can contain this.
To be fair,
Anybody over
I didn't
20?
Like that, if I fall on the first attack.
I'm at 20.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, and okay. Okay, anybody over 15? 10,
12.
12 for your which one? Eurus?
Eurus, just
Okay.
12.
And anybody over 8? 5.
Philadelphus is 8.
I also got an 8.
Six.
Okay, Philadelphia. Okay,
You go first.
Yeah.
All right, so Figaro, Philadelphus, and what
Then
was-
Twig. Well, I got a 7. So
You should be good at knocking things with touches.
That's
what did okay,
An undead.
6 from Olson
I don't think you
and
can actually. knock
Dirty
them
20.
down. I think they just die.
oh yeah, you were first. You were up first.
Yeah.
Okay, so
for
Olson.
just one shot at Olson. I don't
do
think I'm gonna try to
non-lethal
grapple anything. No, but if it's an undead, I don't think you can knock them out.
This sucks.
Oh yeah.
TPK on session 3.
Yeah.
Ravek changed his mind about Greyhawk.
So
The wizard never.
sadly for you guys, the creature rolled higher than all of you.
Of course.
So it surprised you. You went down. It immediately is just slavering over you. You see the blood from your friend Olson just running down. It's just nasty, mangled maw.
Elf needs healing.
And let me go ahead and get the creature on the board.
is he's out? You're out?
Yeah, he's done. He's done.
Oh, good lord.
He got 14 damage would have dropped any of us.
Where's Olson? Right here?
You don't know that it would have dropped
man.
me.
Yeah, so remember who's right next to Olson? The wizard.
Yep. All right, so as soon as Olson goes down, he kind of looks around.
No. You said it was slavering over him.
Yes, that's how his surprise round ended. Now that we're in initiative,
Remember how we talked about
You're not dying.
Nah.
all right, and of course we have Zendrelda'a, who seems to, she's like, oh no!
Look how big your mini is on the screen. That's kind of cool.
Oh wow.
That's not a small creature.
He's talking about war
Yeah, I'm talking about the
Well, I'm the only human, I think.
No, I'm human.
Okay.
The other wizard.
All right, so it immediately turns and bounds and literally just tries to attack Borax, who's standing right next to him. So, making a claw and a bite attack against Borax. Ooh, that's going to be 7. It's probably going to miss. And then a 14.
Shield.
Okay, all right, so then you're able to rebuff both attacks as the incandescent nature of the shield takes over and the creature is unable to land its attack. Borax, you're up.
I'm going to pull my tent out and attempt to just cover it like a giant blanket.
Okay, all right.
Do you know spells?
I do, but we were told not to kill it.
All right, so technically not quite a grapple. I guess it's more like a net attack in a way. So yeah, go ahead and roll an attack.
Okay. How badly do you think I'm gonna fail? By how many
You can
points?
do it. You can do it.
What's the over/under?
Would this be dexterity?
No, it's just, yeah, well, I mean, it's, yeah.
12.
Well, okay. Wow.
Am I proficient with 10?
I don't think
12.
so. 12. So yeah, what did you throwing over?
My tent. I'm
your
trying to like.
That's that rolled up on your back?
No. I carry it on my belt.
A tent?
Listen. This is what I did. This is why I failed.
All right, so as you're trying to get your tent unbound, and in the time that you've been attacked in the chaos of
I
the...
have 6 seconds.
Yeah. Let's put that to reality check. Trying to get your tent out and then trying to toss it over. It's just a mess. The tent is a mess. Almost just balled up and has absolutely no effect other than just being thrust down before the creature.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right, so you're standing your ground. Eurus, you're up with Figaro on deck.
Olson, no! I'm gonna run up.
Where should we get into?
I want to attack it, but I'm really worried out of character. I don't think you can knock out undead. I think you just kill them.
That's
Where's the
meta.
crate?
We don't know that it's undead. Maybe it's just hungry.
Where's the crate in the room?
It's right next to the door. It's actually.
It's the barrel.
Yeah. No, it's not the barrel. It's actually
Oh,
the
that's
crate
it.
next to the door.
That's a valid point. So I
Yeah.
will be attacking it. I'm trying my best to knock it out. So
It's
I'm
like
trying-
right at the base. It's like where the stairs would be on the other side of the door.
Knock it out.
Oh, is it this thing?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm trying to avoid hitting Olsen, and I missed with both. The highest I rolled was a 10.
Okay, so you're just trying to.
Yeah. Well,
To-
I'm sorry, kicking. But
Okay, kicking.
My kicking.
All right.
My kicks are going wide.
Okay. All right, so you're unable to hit it. Anything else from Juris?
That was
All
his
right,
action and bonus action.
so the Figaro's up with Philadelphus on deck.
I kind of liked. Honestly, the tent idea wasn't the worst thing I've heard.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do for my turn is I'm going to see if I could, if I could grab the tent that the wizard was trying to do, and just like use my turn this round to unravel the tent.
Okay,
To
so
throw
get
it
it-
next round.
All right, I'm with you on that. That makes sense.
So I grab, like, I'm just gonna.
Yes.
Let me grab that for a sec.
All right, are you moving any closer to? Because it's literally in its same space where the creature is. It's like just right there.
I mean,
So
I'm already next to him.
okay, all right, so you're good. You're just
So-
gonna pop up there,
I'm
grab
gonna
it.
bind him.
Okay.
Like, I'm just gonna reach up, try to grab that from behind you.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, there's no roll that's going to be required for that. You grab it, it's free action just to grab it, and then you take your turn to unravel it to a point that you can actually use it effectively
Yes.
the next round. Got it. Philadelphus
And then I'm
and then
gonna
Twigga.
use the rest of my
Oh,
movement
sorry.
to go back, like a little bit more.
Okay, you going to move away from it?
Was I in its threat range?
Well, to grab that thing, yeah.
Then
you'd
yeah,
have
then
to-
never mind. Well, I was like, you, and then Mike, and then me.
Yeah, so if you would have to get next to him to grab the tent, and so if you move out of his range, then
I was like, I was thinking like go from behind him to grab it, but if you want,
you don't
to
have
stay
5 foot
there.
arms.
Okay, cool.
So, all right, so you're going to stay next to him?
Yeah,
All right,
I'll be the next person.
Philadelphus and then Twig.
Philadelphus is going to trot up next to Olsen, and he is going to use his action to get ready to help Borax with the tent. So that would give him advantage next time he tried that. Does it look like you're going to be the one to throw it then?
Yes.
Then he uses his action to help you with the
It's in your hands.
target.
All right, so you're next to her, or him to Figaro?
Yeah. So Philadelphus is next to Figaro, getting ready to help Figaro with the tent to wrap it up. And
Figaro.
Yeah, that's Figaro over there.
So Philadelphia's went over there to help.
praise be Guy, who has saved your life, Olsen. And he's going to heal Olsen for 5 points.
Woo! Okay, so Olsen will come back to consciousness on his turn.
Every fight must have you go down.
Is that it from Twig?
it's twice now. Twice now.
Yeah. Is that it for Philadelphus?
That's it for Philadelphia.
Okay, so then we have Twig.
So is readying my rope that's on my like belt an action, or I could just grab the rope and have it?
No, the rope is on your belt, unless you have it in your backpack.
No, I wouldn't have it in my backpack.
So if you carry it in your backpack, then that would be, or, I mean, just to grab your rope off of there would be a free action.
Okay.
Assuming you're not holding weapons in your hand right now.
What is in my hands? What do I tell that?
We haven't said you drew on.
Yeah,
any weapon.
correct.
you say
Okay.
I draw a weapon.
Sure. Okay. All right. So I will. Can I cast a spell and then can I cast Mage Hand, but then wait to use it to help Figaro?
You want to use the help? Well,
Like
I can't get.
once Figaro
Yeah.
does what they're doing, then I would.
she already has the help action from.
It gives you advantage.
I don't mean help. I mean my Mage Hand will do what I want it to do when Figaro does what Figaro's going to do next.
So you say I'm
Ready.
holding my action
I'm holding
until
my action until
the condition
Figaro.
is met.
Right, which would be when she throws the thing over the
Correct.
tent over the creature.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
And then you're going to tie it up in the tree.
Wrap it up with the rope.
like a little bag.
Okay, all right. So you immediately ascertain what she's doing.
Yes.
Since it didn't work out initially for Borax.
And if it doesn't work out for her, I'm still gonna try and bind up its feet using my Mage Hand with the
Okay,
rope.
all right. And so the Mage Hand hasn't been cast yet. but you have the rope for the mage hand to take. Is that
Correct.
okay? There's no problem for the mage hand to carry the end of the rope, for the length of the rope.
It would just kind of spin around.
Yeah.
Does Mage Hand
Mage Hand
act
can
on its
hold-
own
Hold
initiative?
10 pounds.
No,
No, it doesn't.
No,
you
it's
move
just-
it on your action.
Got it.
I mean, it might need someone to like
Does it take more than 10 pounds?
tighten
before
it
it's
at the
tied?
end, but
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm just thinking of the dexterity of the mage hand. This. There's the other one that rogues use. I can't remember what it's called right now. The
Ledgerman.
Legerdemain. Yeah,
Yeah.
that has
Legerdemain.
that textile ability to like open locks and stuff. It can probably wrap the rope around.
Well, it says it can manipulate an object, open an unlocked door or container, slow or retrieve an
Okay.
item,
Okay.
pour out a vial.
But it's only one hand, so I don't think it can tie, but it can definitely like
it's gonna try.
ravel.
Yeah, it's gonna.
yeah, okay.
It's gonna
I'm with you.
get as close as it can.
All right. Anything else from
Someone
Twig
else
then?
may need to help, but after that, but that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
It's my contribution.
But you still have guidance on you.
Anything else from Twig then?
No, that's it.
Okay, and then Olson, you come to consciousness. You're prone with this creature slathering over you, not looking at you right now, but kind of next to you, and you can see that he's got his eyes fixed on Borax.
I was gonna say
Olsen, move!
It charged at me.
Yeah.
It's not slabbering over him anymore.
Well, it's still
It's
still
standing on top.
right next to him. Yeah.
You're free.
So
Just
what is
get up
Olson
and
gonna do?
Whatever you're gonna do. Don't listen to the mean man behind the counter.
Thanks.
Me holding the tent. Olsen, move! Punch him in the face!
I will use half my move instead.
Okay.
Does the creature see that as a threat and attack him?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah,
Well,
because
I mean,
he's next.
regardless, I am within 5 feet. So
Does Zendrelda'a get a turn?
Yes, you'll get a turn.
I am
We're
gonna
done.
hold my action until I see. I'll look around and I will see that everyone is getting ready to do some semblance of capturing this beast. And seeing as I see the only thing getting ready to tie the rope is a spectral hand, I will hold my action to assist in tying the knot should it wrap around.
Okay. Yeah, you can see that Figaro and Eurus are over there.
Yeah.
With the tent, trying to opening it up at this point.
How long is guidance last?
I think it's just a turn.
But you don't see the mage hand. All you see
Oh,
is
is it a
Twig
mage?
holding the
Okay.
rope.
Yeah, guidance is
So-
1 minute.
Yeah.
You can't
So-
see mage hand?
Go ahead and cast it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. You said in case that. Okay. Well,
So
still.
to stream, so I'm doing the 8 action for Figaro, and then you're doing the 8 action on Twig. Okay.
Okay. So the end of the round, Zendrelda'a, who managed to roll the worst initiative of everybody.
Blows up the.
Yeah.
Well, she's been unhappy the whole time. She's been spending all this time freaking out.
She's probably high as a kite or jonesing for her next fix.
So she's standing there watching all of this. Yes, good idea. Yes, I see what you're doing. I wish I thought about that before. Don't hurt it. Just remember, don't hurt it. And she's not moving at all to assist at this point.
Yeah.
She's just standing back watching this all happen. We'll see what she does down the road. And we're back at the top of the round with the creature. So this skeletal hound, still with its eyes set on Borax, may or may not be aware that that Olsen has revived and stood up, but he wasn't attacked by Olsen, so he's going to continue with to focus his rage on Borax, I believe. But I need to check one other thing in terms of the spatial.
The dog-like thing. It's got a thing against cats.
Pretty close quarters.
Mm-hmm. Now let's get everybody an actual.
Well, there's a bookshelf on the floor.
Yep.
In your house, Zendrelda'a.
No.
Well, she has this dog that just messed everything up. Maybe she's a very good housekeeper.
Does she seem like a good person? I mean,
No, she's the craziest.
Probably
And
like
high.
eyeballs and vials.
I think right now
All right,
she's
so-
just going through withdrawal.
The
the dog's
creature's
not even there.
immediately going to move up on the shelf and Okay.
Does that trigger?
If he chooses it to. This is Olsen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're like literally right
Is he
there.
still within my 5 feet?
Yeah, well, he hasn't stopped moving. He's jumping up on the shelf. Now, anybody here has an opportunity attack as he moves out of the range of Borax and Figaro.
Opportunity to, like, as in, can I use my opportunity attack to throw my net?
And, yeah, I mean, you used your whole round to prepare it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can if you want. If this is what you want to do, as he literally, instead of attacking Borax, just bounds away and on the shelf. Or, as he's bounding, you can make your...
Yes.
With advantage.
Yeah.
And sneak attack will prop. Tying it in, no, I'm
So
kidding.
just for the sake, if hers succeeds, I'll use mine to tie a rope.
Well, you don't have the rope.
I'm gonna cast.
I have
Mage
a-
Oh, you have a rope, okay. But you have it ready in action.
I'm just saying if like you can't get it on.
21.
21, wow. So, as you get the tent over this creature, and you have a held action. So the tent goes over the creature, what do you do?
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and wrap the rope as tightly as it will wrap it.
Okay.
That's
not-
So you're gonna cast the mage hand. Can you move it on a bonus action? You cast it. Where are you casting it?
With
Can you
me
cast
to-
it?
to get the rope.
When you cast it, can you
needs to be
command
where
it to
my-
do?
where the end of the rope is?
Right.
Didn't you hold your
Right.
action?
So
to-
you're holding your action. You cast the mage hand. What else can the mage hand do after you cast it?
It doesn't
Do
say it
whatever
moves
I
on
say on my
subsequent
action,
or anything like that.
It says you can use your action to make it move.
Okay, so
It's like you can.
But I think he's asking because she's holding an action. So that action would be casting. She doesn't have anything left for the held action.
Can you like
If I
cast it
can't
and tell
cast
it
it
what?
and use it at the same time, then I guess I just cast it.
yeah, it would yeah, it should say that you can, but when you move it as an action, not a bonus action, right? So if that's the case, then you use your action to cast it. You have to wait until you have another action to actually move
One
it.
sec. That sounds like
I call
the spell
shenanigans on
entirely
that.
useless. One sec.
No,
Well, this means
No,
you would cast it and then on subsequent turns use it because it sticks around.
right. It's not like an
I
instantaneous
think
spell.
when you
Because normally a spell like that, if you could move it after you cast it, like that orb or the moon thing,
Yeah.
you can do it as a bonus action.
It just says you can use your action to
It's just
control
the
the
downside
hand.
of doing
Okay.
it on a held action.
Yeah.
Because on
Yeah.
a
So
held action, you don't get your bonus.
So
You cast
Since-
your action to make it happen, and then you have to use your action to
Right.
make something.
can we
work.
then
Okay.
can then the mage hand aid me in wrapping the rope?
well, all she's doing is
I can just
casting.
cast it.
Yeah,
I've just
she just
cast it.
cast it, and so
since that was a misunderstanding of this spell, is there any way to, if you want to, can change her action to tie it up herself?
no, because she
I mean, I'm
she
coming up in the turn
specifically
order. I do another action.
yeah.
I'm just gonna cast it and see.
Right, so you cast it now with your held action.
Right.
The mage hand's there. You're holding the rope. You've thrown the tent over it with the help and aid of Eurus.
Do you want to grapple the tent?
What held action did you have exactly?
My held action was to aid the mage hand in.
Okay, to help tie it. Yeah.
That was my held action.
And you didn't have a held action.
No, I took my action last turn to throw out the tent.
Right. So yeah. So what happens is you throw the tent over it, and it just bolts out of it.
On a
There's
20.
nothing to hold it
How,
down.
how can it do that? It already used its turn.
Right.
No, it's moving. Is what it, that was just a held action against his moving.
Do I
It's
still-
not done moving.
Did I still get a reaction?
You can. Yes, you have a reaction.
So in the midst of that,
But the reaction is going to happen after it completes its move.
All right.
Because it's, yeah, so I mean, you can still do
Right.
that.
I think using
I was going to try to grapple it to keep the tent on.
Yeah, using your held action is a reaction.
Yeah.
Right, so you got the tent
'Cause I was
over
gonna
it, but
forego that held
immediately,
action because it's the situation's not going to come up.
And a reaction wouldn't occur after its move. A reaction would interrupt. If I
oh, that's true, it could, depending on the act.
if I have a reaction and something happens, it doesn't wait till the thing
No,
is
you're
90
right, you're
feet
right,
away.
right. So
It's
you're correct,
I would
depending
literally
on the
like to try to
reaction.
jump on it and grapple it with the tent.
Well, that's not a reaction.
yeah,
That's not a
that's not a reaction.
I think he's trying to do an attack of opportunity, aren't you?
It would have to already.
I was just trying to think.
Oh, I didn't leave.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
his
it did.
attack of opportunity, I mean, his, well, he
Alright.
may get attack of opportunity.
It's fine. Let's
got it.
just keep it moving. It's okay.
So
I
it's
think it's not.
at this point, it's moving out of your range, so both Eurus and Olson would get attacks of opportunity.
I use my reaction.
I can take it. I just know.
Yeah. So you could do. Yeah. So you can use your opportunity attack if you wanted to at this point. But you're right about that reaction.
I'll take a swing with non-lethal damage. Is that okay? Can I do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah. You can do that.
So I'll take out my short sword and with the butt of it, I'll try to crack it. That is a 14.
14. No. No. It's very swift and dexterous as it just wheedles itself out of its way, and it's not done moving.
No, I know we
It's not done moving.
might as well give it a shot.
Yeah.
Did you cast down Ravek this on yourself? Okay, just making sure.
All right. So the thing is now standing right now, just jumps on top of the table as it completes its movement. Jumps on top of the table next to Twig. That's its movement, and immediately tries to claw you with a 7
No.
and a 9 as it attempts to bite. So I don't think a 9 hits you either. So both of those miss as it is just standing there on this not completely overturned table, but it's like at an angle, but right next to you. Okay, Borax, you're up.
Spin this for a second. Okay. Borax is going to move over to the crate. Is one side open? Is it open on top?
Yeah, the top opens up.
Okay. Borax is gonna stand right next to the crate. Draw a dagger as a free action. And drip blood into it. Go here, doggy, doggy, into the crate.
Okay, you're gonna use your action to like cut yourself and
Yep.
drip blood. Okay, all right. So the crate's open. You dribbled blood. And you're dribbling blood into it at
She
this
said
moment.
it like blood.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Okay, and is that it for Borax? Was he draining his life away into the crate?
When a couple decent drops of stain, I'm gonna use some of my movement to go away from the bloody crate.
Okay, all right.
Who's gonna close the curtain?
Whoever's next to it.
Right.
Zendrelda'a is there over there.
She's like, oh, that's messy. Eurus with Figaro on deck.
Oh, sorry.
You're like Philadelphus. Fucking name. I'm gonna have to give him
Phil.
nickname.
Just call him Phil.
Yeah. Phil.
I'm gonna run up and try to shove it
Hell yeah.
and knock it prone.
Okay, to knock it. Okay, so it's at an angle on the table now. So I'll give you advantage on that.
Oh, sweet. 15.
15,
Knocking
no.
it into the crate or just down?
Yep.
No, I mean you push it and it just kind of rights itself. The table just jiggles for a moment and actually gets a little bit flatter as you do it, but it stays on its feet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Is it like a contest when you try to knock someone down? Or?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, it is.
Test it out.
It's contested, so it can do athletics.
Or it could be a
acrobatics.
DC. What did you roll?
15.
No, but did you roll acrobatics?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
yeah.
rolled athletics because I'm the aggressor has to use athletics. The defensive person can choose acrobatics or athletics.
Oh, okay.
It's like a grapple, but I'm doing a shove attack.
Yeah, you're
Either
right,
push
right,
him
with
or
the shove.
knock him
Okay. Okay. Well, obviously he's going to use acrobatics. This is a very dexterous creature. And 16.
prone. So
Just making sure.
I try to push it.
I put a DC on it rather than contested, but that's correct way to do it. So, okay, anything else from Eurus?
I'm just gonna stand near Twig. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Figaro with Philadelphus on deck.
Try this one more time. I'm gonna pick up, like, the tent is just on the floor.
Yeah, it's exactly in front of you.
I'm like, well, that almost worked. Why
So
don't
it's-
you tie it, please? And I'm gonna pick up the tent. Gonna try and weave between these people. Zendrelda'a does nothing.
Well, she's watching with rapt
That's
attention.
what I said. Zendrelda'a does nothing. I have to go over here to do it. I just kick the chair sideways, and then I just throw the tent on top of this thing.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
Make my net attack.
Mm-hmm.
Does a fucking 15 hit?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. You managed to get it on top of the creature.
Yes. One of you please tie it
So you
down.
covered it with
Yes.
the tent.
This is what I'm thinking is like if I cover it, then if some like the bundle it up in a package thing seemed like it works. So like if we get ropes
It's
around
on top of the table right now, and you covered it with the tent, which is quite large. So we'll see where we go with that.
Theoretically, it would.
Go around it like this.
Yeah.
That was your action?
That was my action. I don't have a bonus action because I'm level
Think of
1.
it like a mushroom.
Yeah.
So it's Philadelphia.
Like ballowing its legs.
Philadelphus is gonna waddle over to the giant chest and ready an action to close it once the thing is in there.
And that's going to bring up Twig.
Twig is gonna hold one end of the rope in one hand and have the mage direct the mage hand to take the other end of the rope as many times around this thing as she possibly can.
Okay. So-
Ending up near Olsen. Ideally, the other end will be in the mage hand's hand near Olsen.
Okay, all right. So you commanded to. So let's see how good you're commanding it to do this, but you're directing its action. So it's not doing it independently on its own. In other words, it didn't have the intelligence to know how to do this exactly. So you're moving the hand with your own magical ability to make it do this. So I need you to roll an acrobatics.
You said you wanted it to end up near me?
The other end of it, yeah.
I'm
I'm holding one
Just to
end.
make sure you know.
Okay.
Or would it be a spellcasting modifier? Because it's a spell.
Yes, I would. That's yeah. I mean, yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. Well, I don't know actually because it's really her. It's almost like a remote vehicle. You know, you have to use your dexterous movements to make it do its dexterous movements.
Isn't there staff?
I disagree. If you're using a mage hand to open a door or pour out a vial, you don't have to roll a dexterity check.
That's true.
No, but you're just commanding it to do this.
I'm just commanding it to go in a circle around the thing.
Yeah, but you need it to be in such a way that you're going to actually ravel around it, and to the point that you're going to be able, someone else is going to be able to like tie it. You know, there's some action. It's not just a simple movement. Otherwise, it could be all over the place. You know, you could be putting the rope all over it and not in any particular sense.
So it's just because I'm telling it to go in a circle?
Well, no, it's not. You're just not just telling it to go in a circle. You're telling it to go in a circle in such a way that it's going to be able to be bound. You know, there's a difference. You can tie a sack with a ribbon by, you know, by
I'm not trying to
dexterous.
tie a knot.
No, I know, but I'm just saying you can get a rope or a ribbon around the opening of a sack.
If you can get it to
That's what I'm trying to do, is get it
Right,
open around
right.
that.
But if you're just trying to get something around it, it could be at the bottom of the sack, the top of the sack, over the wrong way. You
Okay.
have to
So
direct
my
this in such a
spell
way.
attack bonus, is that
It's not intelligent. You have to control exactly what it does.
Gotcha. All right, so it's a 13.
Okay, so 13. Obviously, you would want the rope around the leg area, right? So that it can be bound properly.
Or
It's an upside down sack.
head area.
Well, see, yeah, it's an upside down sack. So basically, not even that yet, but it's just basically the tent has been thrown over it.
Yes.
And so it's over its
Ideally,
back.
it would bind its leg. It would be around, it wouldn't be tight necessarily, but it'd be around its leg.
Right. So a very specific area that you're trying to get so that it can be, hopefully by someone else, actually bound securely. Okay, so that was the purpose of that roll. Okay, all right. So for the most part, you rolled better than average. You got most of the rope in the way that you want it. So what that does is affect the DC down the road. Is that it for Twig?
Yes.
All right, Olsen, you're up.
Okay. Seeing that we're all moving our parts to get this thing captured, I'll run up, grab the rope from the mage hand as it finishes its loop, and yank it tight. Because she wrapped it around the legs, right? In a
Right.
circle,
Yeah.
so
For
that
the most part,
I'll
it's
get it tighter
yeah.
and-
I mean, it's not perfect, but yeah, it's in that area.
Yeah, I'll see if I can finish it off and get the knot around to make its legs
Okay.
kinda get like bolo tight.
All right. So you've got this loose rope
Sure.
around the area of the legs, kind of with tent that's quite large in terms of whatever it's made out of. It's not fabric or
Tents,
it's got
canvas. They're
probably
fabric.
canvas or something of that nature. That's over it, And so it's going to take some doing for you to really get this thing tight around, with the rope that's there, tight around it. So you'll need to roll an athletics.
Okay.
Or an acrobatics.
I'll do athletics. Well, actually,
I missed when use rope was a skill.
that is a 22.
22, really? Wow.
19 plus 3.
Yeah. So in the areas that it wasn't exactly right, you're able to get it down. You can kind of feel around the tent, through the tent where its bony appendages are as you start to draw it tight. And you're able to do so. You draw it tight. I'm not sure if you got all the legs in, but you've drawn it tight so that it's bound within the fabric of this tent.
Sure. And I keep the rope just kind of pulled a little, like to myself. Like
You're holding both
I don't, I
ends?
don't then let it go.
I got
loose.
the other end.
Oh, yeah, the mage hand has the other end.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have
I
that.
just don't let it. I
Oh,
don't. I
you were
don't.
holding the other end.
The other end, yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't then just drop it. I
Okay,
keep it
all right, so
in my.
with her holding it, you draw it tight, and there was some other movement in there to get it, positioned, and you did so, you rolled it well. Okay,
I'm gonna see if it works.
that's it?
Yes, that's it.
Right, so
Now
you're holding one end of the rope, you're holding the other end of the rope.
Oh, Zendrelda'a.
Zendrelda'a,
Is she gonna do something?
oh, the use of the mage hand was just brilliant, my dear, brilliant. And she's just kind of just gushing accolades at you. And now, at the top of the round, the creature just goes into a flurry, attempting to break out of this held tautly rope that's around, we'll assume most of its appendages, but certainly encompassed tightly within this tent. So either one of you can roll in athletics or acrobatics with advantage, or you can both roll separately as it's attempting to break out of your hold.
Shot.
What do your numbers look like?
I got a +4 for acrobatics and a +0 for athletics.
I have a +3 for both, so it's just you want to take
And I've
it.
been rolling like 2, but
And he said advantage.
okay. I'll roll.
Sure.
Hey!
Yeah, 20.
Nat 20. Wow. That's good because this guy rolled an 18. Wow. So he struggles mightily to break free. And even if he did break free, it's not for certain he would have broken free entirely. He might have been able to just get away a distance with the tent still on him. But as he does so, struggling, and you can tell that this thing's a strong, agile, well, not so strong, but certainly agile beast to kind of make its way out of all kinds of tight situations as you tighten it even further, and it's unable to escape. So,
Good choice.
within that 20,
See what I got.
and the rest of your rounds ahead of it, we're going to go out of initiative as you have this thing securely grappled for the moment in this tent, the two of you. Now, Zendrelda's just so pleased. She's so excited. Move it! Put it in! Put it in now!
Who's the strongest?
Not me.
Probably Philadelphia's.
What's his strength?
14.
The left.
So we'll all work together to put it in the box.
Can we first see if we could tie a knot over this thing, or do you want to try?
I think it's tied as good as
I
we
think
got right
it's done.
now. I think we gotta get it.
Well, they have it held. It's not an actual knot, but they have it
Yeah.
held tightly.
This
Okay,
is not
yeah,
a
okay.
creature that needs to breathe, right? We're not worried about giving
I don't know if it
No,
is.
it's going in a box anyways.
It was already in a box, so we're putting
I can
it.
stab a hole in it. And
Nope. Just put it in the box.
Don't stab my tent.
I don't know if you're going to get much
You're
use
not
out
getting
of
the
that
tank
anymore.
back.
I
So the
might.
thing is continuously struggling. Okay, so
it's-
during
We're
this
moving
round,
it into the box while we're talking about this.
right? So who's gonna?
Philadelphia's will
All of
come
us.
up
I was
so.
gonna say,
Right,
I
But
think,
you only two of you.
I think I'll hold the rope like on this end. You'll hold it in front of it, and then Philadelphus will hold the creature in the middle. So we have the rope taut, but someone's carrying it in the
Like, I'll help Philadelphus, like give him help, but I'm not super strong, so I'm just gonna help him do good. He crit.
Oh, you did.
Philadelphia's rolled in that 20th.
All right, that was way higher than this guy did. So he's unable to in his struggles, and you had actually had two different opportunities to do that, but you crit. So that's all it's going to take as you guys maneuver it. Zendrelda'a moving out of the way quickly. Oh, put him there! Put him there! Put him in quickly! Closer, closer! She's like directing you. Your every movement, even though you know exactly what you're doing, and
And my mage hand will shut it if it's over there.
okay,
Shut it.
as you boom inside,
Well, her mage.
right before the mage hand slams the top of the lid shut, you notice that the creature just kind of sinks inside the box, like on its haunches, low, and then goes perfectly still. You can't see it, but you can see the movement of the shape of it underneath the tent, and all in the rope, the tent, everything with the creature as you slam it shut.
And
Oh, very nice indeed.
Is there a latch?
is it like a latch or like a lock or like some nails?
Whatever she failed to do, we want to do.
There is a latch. There's actually 4 latches,
Yeah, latch.
and there's no locks that you see. They were just simply latched over, and then you see Zendrelda'a looking around. Oh, I know I put them somewhere. And she starts to go through the debris on the floor, and she finds a lock, another lock, another lock, 4 locks she finally finds.
Philadelphus and Eurus are both just on top of the box in the meantime.
And it hasn't moved. It hasn't moved at all. It's been completely silent.
Any chance?
Yeah, that's fine.
Magic
Because
box.
it's eating his blood.
Maybe.
Well, who knows?
Good thing no one's
But the good news is I have 1 key. 4 locks.
Take it.
I grab the key.
Okay. And she hands over the locks to whoever wants to take them.
I'll take one, and then I'll put one on the.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like I lock. I assume like we put one lock on.
Actually, yeah. While they're holding it.
Are they like
put
open
on-
padlocks? Just
Yeah, they're just basically like, you know,
I'll grab a lock.
padlocks.
Is it a word lock and it's just demon?
Now, there's no writing at all that you can see on this crate. As large as it is, and Zendrelda'a just kind of steps back. Oh, we did it.
Can I make a perception check on the crate just to see if I can hear if it's doing anything?
Yeah.
I want to see if it's eating or
Yeah, sure.
licking up the blood that you dripped on there.
Through the tent?
That's a 10, but
10. Silence.
All right.
This is a really thick, heavy oaken chest that seems to be treated with something, as it has this strange, glossy coating over it. And Zendrelda's just so pleased. You did it. I won't disappoint Lord Henway. No, this time. It's good news. When will you be taking it away?
Is it still daytime?
Yeah. I think it's like approaching evening.
It is.
You have the cart that we can take this back on, right?
Oh yes, you have horses? Did you bring horses?
We
Yeah.
did.
Okay, yes, you may take the cart. I don't need it. But you'll be staying here tonight, I suppose. You don't want to go through the woods at night?
No.
Thinks that we might be safer in the woods.
Yeah,
I will go to.
No, it's indoors. There are walls.
There's no ceiling, though.
Is there a ceiling? Or is it just
Yeah, there's a ceiling.
Oh, I thought it
And
was.
there's stairs that go up to a door.
That was just
There's more floors. Yeah, there's more floors above this. You still have the windows too.
I'm gonna back up to Borax just because he's the farthest person from Zendrelda'a right now. But I'm gonna ask him. I want to go. At what point do you think once you give her the package? Do you think it's just safe now to give her our end of the deal, or?
depends on what she's gonna do with it.
She's gonna.
He's staring
I'm
at you
pretty sure she's gonna use it. You know,
from across the
little
room,
happy fun times.
watching you.
Well,
I think if she asks for it again, we should.
the
give
deal
it.
was the package for this package, so
All right.
I think you might owe us a tent, though.
No, I'm sorry, I don't have any tents around, but I might have something that I can offer you. But first, my dear, and she looks over you, slowly approaching, almost gliding over.
So uncomfortable. I will. Oh,
I have my package.
I will take the barrel off my back. I'll put Bruggy back on my shoulder.
Oh, frog! Did you bring it for me as well?
No, don't touch him.
Well, I could use it in my alchemy.
Don't touch him.
Oh, so disappointing.
And I will dig under the swamp leaves and dirt. I will get her package out, dust it off a little bit.
No, thank you. Yes.
You're welcome.
Oh, finally. I'll be able to pacify them for another month.
I'm sorry? Oh, damn.
Oh, the orcs. This is how I pacify them. They allow me to do what I need to do unmolested, and I give them this, and it keeps them.
Where are the orcs?
Oh, I saw the orcs.
Well, yeah, no, sure, you saw them out and about, but you made that sentence sounds like there's like 3 orcs underneath your tower that you're like,
They'll be on their way about now, I expect. They'll be in a few days, I imagine. Don't be here when they
Okay.
do.
I
Did you
don't
say they'll be here?
Yes, they will be coming for this package.
That does not sound like she like.
Well, if we were only a day away.
I thought she was sedating orcs and then like slicing them up
Yeah.
and cutting them open.
There's.
That could be the case.
They could be here any.
I did not even realize orcs could cook.
We
Why else would they need
We might want
spices?
to continue on in the.
God, go away.
Which direct? Do we have to go back the same way to get to the menagerie, or?
Well, you could go back to Divers if you want, and then take either the road or ship to Greyhawk. You know this at least, or you can travel through the forest with the cart and the horses one at a time, I suppose, pulling it through the forest until you get to the hills and the grasslands beyond that lead up to where Greyhawk is. I'll pull the map up.
Forest away from the orcs, or forest back towards the orcs?
Well, if you go back to Divers, then you would be going in the general direction of the orcs,
Correct.
assuming that those are the same orcs that are coming here in a few days.
But Henway doesn't live in Divers.
No, he lives in Greyhawk.
Okay.
So I'll pull the map up and
All
you can
right.
take a look.
I don't know where else we'd keep them, but does anyone else not feel comfortable keeping the horses outside? Especially when she says that there's orcs coming to the tower.
Oh dear, they won't be here for a few days. Don't worry. They never arrive early.
Do you think that our horses will be okay hitched outside?
Oh yes, they'll be just fine.
I'll sleep with the horses.
I can take watch with you outside on that. Make sure you're okay then.
Indoors. It's been 2 days and it's been too long.
So yeah, so you can see there that Divers is right there on the coast, right there at the end
Yep.
point of the Nire Dive. Greyhawk, if you followed the road over, it would take you directly to Greyhawk. There are other ways from where you are right now. Zendrelda's tower is right here.
Where?
You can't see the.
Yeah.
It's like right in the middle. You see Divers, just look to the south a little bit, and you'll see Zendrelda's tower. I can blow it up a
Oh,
little bit
there
more.
you
go. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Oh, there it is.
And, yeah. So
So it's really
So-
just forest.
So going back to Divers is no quicker to getting us to Greyhawk.
it's less travel through the forest.
Then what water gets us there?
Well, the Nire Dive is actually quite large, and you can see that it would go around this Peloponnesus here.
So one day back
And
to
then-
Divers to take
yeah.
a 12-day boat ride to Greyhawk.
Or take the road, which is the North Road. There from Divers, it's around the forest over to Greyhawk.
I see it.
And so yeah, this road. I don't have a pointer up there, but
Is each hex a day of travel?
each hex is about 30 miles. So yeah, at least a day of travel. So
Is that red line underneath Zendrelda's tower a road?
no, those are border demarcations. The white lines and dots and so forth are the roads, or in rivers in some cases.
Where's the road that we took to get to Zendrelda'a?
It was just a
We
path.
took a nature path.
Yeah, just a pathway down. So
So there may be other paths through the forest towards Greyhawk.
Well, it looks like the most direct path is if we take south of Zendrelda's tower, about a half a day, there's a road, and it goes all the way along the bottom and then up to Greyhawk. That looks like it would be the most direct
Look like the
from
next
what I see.
port of
probably
like
safest.
Beltender.
Yeah.
And would take us through a town of Belhender.
now you don't know the gnarly forest that well.
No, we don't. But I also see something that says like Arachnid Grove.
Oh, the Archdruid.
Oh,
I saw the same thing.
he's not blowing it up big enough.
I think if I can make it.
Where's Hamlet?
Look at you kids.
Hamlet's off to the west, further west.
Oh, we're not going that way.
No, we're not
Yeah.
going that way.
See you later, driver.
We'll probably see Twig's friend again if we take that road though. If it goes to the Archdruids road.
But you would have some idea. You would have heard the stories about the temple north of Hamlet, the forces that drove the evil away 10 years ago. So you would know that Hamlet is off further west, a few days. Probably not going to see Jaru again if he was going there, because he's traveling through the
Right,
forest
he's going west.
toward the west. Yeah, where you guys are going just south. You just happen to cross paths at that moment. The orcs, if those are indeed the orcs that are coming to Zendrelda's, then they're only a day or so away, depending on how quickly they're traveling here. They didn't seem to be in a hurry, but
Three. She said 3. She said 3.
Yeah, she said 2 or 3 days.
Twig's gonna ask Zendrelda'a if she knows anything about the Black Hand tribe.
Oh yes, Black Hand tribe. A nasty bunch. The orcs who, and it's not just orcs, there's gnolls and goblins and all sorts of crazy creatures, nasty creatures that are part of this terrible clan up from the Pomage. And they're the ones that I pacify with these bricks every month. They won't bother me out here alone.
It's the same orcs.
Yeah, now when you say pacify, you just mean that you give them...
I buy them off.
Sure. Interesting.
I mean, it's better than having to fight them all. Sure, I could probably kill them, but having to go through that every month. And besides, if I needed their protection, I'm sure that they'd be more than willing to do so.
That's a bit point. Understandable.
I vote for not being here when the orcs arrive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're leaving in the morning.
Yeah.
We know
If-
they're not far.
If we have a basic grasp of that geography, Lorax will suggest that road to the south, but if you guys have a...
Can we say that Zendrelda'a pulls up a map for us?
Well, I mean, she
Joe
obviously
pulled
knows
up
the
traffic
area.
map.
Probably doesn't necessarily have a map, but she certainly knows the area. She's lived here a very long time. So if you wanted to question her about any of that, you're certainly welcome to.
What's that border to your south? Do we need to know anything special trying to get to that road?
Well, it'd just be very difficult taking the cart, you see. Maybe if you could carry?
Gotta go.
We can't. It's big.
Which way do you suggest we go?
I suggest you go back to Divers and take the road over to Greyhawk. That's the way I would go. Well, I say not the way I would go, but that's the way that I would recommend that you might go.
Yeah.
Problem is that's where the orcs are.
And a half, let's say 2 days back to Divers now because we have the cart. And then 2, 4, 6.
Just thinking about your travels here. From Divers to
2 weeks
Zendrelda's,
to Greyhawk.
it's going to be a tough row to get the cart over that same path that you came on. Because remember, it's just a game trail. It's not necessarily undoable. Just it's gonna slow you down, even with the miraculous efforts of the ranger, because it's the cart that's gonna slow you down.
Do you have any abilities that could help us, Zendrelda'a?
Well, can any of you fly?
No.
No, I'm afraid not. I do have something for you, though, as I mentioned. A moment. I need to go up to my alchemy lab.
Well, if we could fly, what were you gonna give us?
I would just say that I would help you fly faster.
Interesting.
What
Alright, sure.
an oddly specific ability.
What? With like a spell or like something?
Oh, I've got a fabulous potion for that. But then it might take me a few days to make it.
All right, we'll wait here. You go to your alchemy lab.
So, do be good boys and girls and clean up a bit. And she just breezes up the stairs.
Where did she take the package with her?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
with her.
Oh, can Twig
Brick
ask?
of cocaine, of
Twig
course
ask
she
her-
did.
Can Twig ask her if she can come with her, or she's going by herself?
Oh, she's walking up the stairs on her own right now.
Twig's gonna run up behind her and whisper and say, "Can I ask you what you know about the wars that are coming?
Oh, the wars, yes.
Can we do this in your alchemy lab? I don't want my friends to hear it."
Well, sure. I suppose. Come with me, dear. And she goes, and
Be right back.
the door is closed. When she opens it, you see the fading light through the curtains that is coming into the room. She immediately just looks around, and you watch as candles spring up and light the room inside. If you've ever seen an alchemy lab of any sort in your life as Twig, this blows it away. There's another stairway leading up and out up the stairs to another floor above. But here, this entire room is set with different chemicals and potions and liquids of different colors. You see things are seem to be cooking without fire, bubbling within these larger vials, tubes, and all kinds of crazy, apparatus that have been set up that seem to be functioning in different ways. She doesn't take note too much of anything as she walks in. Nothing surprises her, obviously, as she walks in. You may sit there if you like, dear. And she just directs you to a chair that's next to the door. She takes the brick, and you watch as she goes to a desk and opens the top drawer, sets it inside, and closes it. And then she starts to basically move around the alchemy lab, gathering this and that and a few other things, bottles that she is putting into what looks like a carrier for 6 bottles, and starts to add things to them here and there. And as she speaks to, so the wars tear the world asunder.
I heard tell of a great flood.
Yes, you've heard it too. Have you had the visions?
I haven't, but I've heard the stories, and I heard you're the one who knows how to prepare. I was just wondering what you thought I should do to prepare for it too.
Well, you could stay here. You can help me finish this lighthouse that I'm building, because this will be the southern portion of the Nile Dive pretty soon. Well, not soon, but soon enough.
Why build a lighthouse?
It's going to be on the water.
Well, wouldn't lighthouse draw attention to you at that point?
Well, I'll need to light a light to all those who survive this great flood that's coming, so that they may find a way out.
That's very noble of you.
That is my Dane. This is what my purpose in life is for.
What else have your visions shown you?
Terrible, terrible wars. Across the kingdoms of Greyhawk, of Flannis. Many, many, many will die. And the outcome is uncertain.
When you say outcome is uncertain, have you seen any outcomes?
I have not. Only the visions of wars, death and dying, the necessity for this lighthouse, which is not even a third of the way complete.
How soon do you think that this is coming?
2 decades, perhaps. A decade. Maybe less. Search for the signs. Already those awful creatures of Vecna and the others promising to bring back a dark god are gathering
Gathering where?
all across the Flannis.
I know what you're doing.
Have you ever
I
seen?
know what you're starting.
No, you don't.
I do.
You think you do.
I know.
Maybe.
I know you.
You don't know anything
Nothing.
because you're not hearing this.
Yeah.
No, that was Mike to Ravek, because Mike just figured this shit out, and Mike knows the next 27 years. Damn it.
Vecna needs to choose a campaign setting. I'm tired of Vecna just going wherever the hell he feels like.
I know.
Well, Vecna is.
Zendrelda'a, I have to ask
I know,
you.
especially
Yes?
with the new one.
Camille's been here before.
Have you ever
too.
had
I
any-
know. I did. I heard this, and I'm like, What if there was a city that was run by a 15-year-old wolf sorcerer?
Have you ever had any visions of me?
What?
Me.
Oh. No, I'm afraid I have not.
I guess no news is good news.
Well, is your god or some great personages that are related to this terrible event, cataclysm that will befall us all? Then no, not likely. But here, look what I have for you. And she's finished with creating these concoctions individually, 6 of them, small vials, in a little tiny, like almost like a crate carrier that she hands to you. These will help you bring back your health in case you find yourself injured and unable to help yourself with other means. This will immediately close some of your wounds and make you feel invigorated and healthy once more.
That's very nice of you.
And basically, she's describing potion of healing, but not just healing. I've plussed it.
Would you say greater?
I plussed them up.
May I, while they're upstairs, investigate this area for anything
Yeah,
that is
absolutely.
not broken and or takeable?
Oh, I am so with you, man. Goodness.
That is 21.
Okay. Anybody else looking around?
We'll see what comes downstairs.
That's fine.
Like, wait,
I wasn't sure what
I
the
was
text
looking-
was.
Pillows
Sure.
Yeah.
on the floor.
Yeah, there would be some
She's
like
loyal to her.
not bed pillows, but like throw pillows. You can find a couple of
Prop
those.
some of those up in one corner against something that I can
Okay.
lean on.
Would that be like investigation or
Yeah.
perception?
Yeah, investigation if you're like looking through things and
Well, I mean, with the pretense of like putting things to right, because she did order us around, like her servants, to fix her house.
Which I've been doing the whole time.
Yes, you're doing it like a good boy.
Okay.
yeah, just roll investigation each way. Whoever wants to.
21.
21.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. You find a small vial that's under debris that you're clearing up or just looking through, whichever you're doing. And it's not labeled.
Those are the best kind.
So, I mean, you're not, maybe not sure what it might be, if it's anything.
Is it water?
No, it's got a coloration to it. And it's kind of a bluish, light blue. And it's got what looks like, I mean, I like this, almost green. And as you pick it up, and it shimmers between blue and green, and inside you see a couple of a vial this big.
Uh-huh.
Inside you see a couple of small
Couple tadpoles.
frog feet,
Okay,
feet from frogs.
sure. While I'm not very knowledgeable on magic, I am very knowledgeable on the different uses for frogs. Can I make an Arcana check on this to see if I can figure out what it is? Only because it has frog's feet in it. You can say no. That's fine.
No, I know I can say well.
I know.
I'm just thinking how difficult it would be for you to figure this out.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an Arcana.
Or at least get theme.
15.
15.
Because Matt has an idea what it is, but
You're really not sure.
okay. I'm gonna try to put it in my backpack without anybody seeing it.
You don't have an alchemy background.
No, no, I do not.
Okay. Anything else going on downstairs?
How much cleaning do I get done?
Depends on how much more.
Twig is gonna say, Zendrelda'a, lady to lady.
What did you do?
Are you lonely up here?
Yes.
Why would I be lonely? I have
Well, no, he didn't, but he's a good boy.
my purpose.
Yeah, please. Yes.
I can leave anytime I want, and sometimes I do. Just not very often. I have so much to do, and it must be completed on time.
I was just going to say, I think my wizard
Give you a
friend
look.
is lonely. You know, in case you wanted to know which
He
of
seems
my
a bit
friends.
old.
He is a bit.
He's old for
He's 10
me.
years older than her. If she's 40,
Maybe she likes him young.
maybe. Before Borax pulls his hat down over his eyes to go to sleep, he says, "This bitch kept that dog. I wouldn't steal anything." And goes to sleep.
Why would we steal anything?
What's my name?
Twig,
Elf.
Twig is gonna
Yeah, that's
thank Zendrelda'a for all of the information and her hospitality for the evening.
That's some pretty good magic you got there, though.
Look, if I say teabag and you're wearing a tank top, you know what I mean, right? So if I say elf in this group, you know who I'm talking to.
Sure.
Same thing.
It's the same thing with Olsen, though. You know, you don't say Olsen and like Eurus is like, oh yeah, what do you need?
I know a bunch of
This
Olsons.
is what we're gonna come down the stairs to, and I'm gonna say, probably nice. You're not lonely up here.
Oh, I do have the rangers that come by once in a while, check on me. You know, and she's talking to you as continuing the conversation as you come down.
Oh, are you familiar with my friend Joru?
Oh, yes, he brings me supplies once in a while. He's staying.
She's gonna give like a little fist bump to a knowing wink.
Nice fellow.
I go outside waiting for Twig to do the watch outside.
Bit intense, though. A bit intense for an elf. No, he's not an elf, he's human.
He's a human.
Yeah, yes. I do know Drew, though.
And the bear, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, I don't allow him inside, though. Never. We must stay outside, that's my rule. No animals in the house. Well, your frog's okay, I suppose. Just don't make any messes.
And devil dogs.
Yeah, indeed. And there's still quite a bit of mess, around on the floor.
Twig is not going to try and take all these potions for herself. She's going to inform the group of Zendrelda's gift to us so that everyone can be grateful and gracious.
How many were there?
Small reward.
There were 6 or 1/3.
Yeah. And then they're healing, but with a kick.
He's so generous.
I'm just writing greater healing.
I'm also writing great.
Healing. Potions of healing
So not greater healing.
with a kick.
Plus,
I guess.
I hope you remember what that is.
Oh, yes. I
I wanna write
definitely
plus
remember what it is.
we're gonna like run through a wall,
They're
take it,
healing and
run
they bring
directly
fire.
through a wall,
Maybe.
right off the cliff, whatever danger is nearby, we just run straight into it.
I love to make potions.
I'm gonna go outside, put my barrel next to me, put Bruggy inside, and just be ready to keep an eye on the horses throughout the night.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out with him, but I would like us to move the horses to somewhere that's not immediately visible when you come out of the clearing like we were. So maybe around the back.
Clearing's there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The clearing's all around, but
I
the
mean,
trail,
yeah,
it's like
We can put 'em
from
on
her
the
door,
clusters
like
of-
straight.
Just in case the orcs,
You wanna
take
do, like,
the
this one
trail
in the
up,
middle of the
not
trees?
just be standing
Sure.
right here.
And then this, we can just put both of them in the middle of the tree so we can keep an eye on them.
There you go. And then if those trees are high enough, that's where Twig will spend the night.
They're in the middle. They're not like just outside the trees.
Okay. Let me get the map back up.
Philadelphus is walking out with you and he's going to clasp a big hand on your shoulder. I'm glad you've seen the light, brother. He saved your life.
You know what? And I'll think for a moment about the fact that I'm not usually a religious person, and
Hands you a pamphlet.
out of the fact that you did save my life today, I will just say thank you. And I will take the pamphlet, and I'm just going to immediately put it away. But
We just got to work on that beard. He's going to walk back inside.
you know what?
Okay. Are you gonna be staying the night then with her? Twig's gonna be outside in the trees.
Yep.
Okay.
And she's just gonna remind everyone before she leaves, when Zendrella can't hear her, don't piss her off.
Sure. Famous last words. Twig is the only one to ever get back to divers. Maybe.
Maybe.
So the rest of you staying in the tower with Zendrelda?
Lorax will.
He's got no tent.
Morax already passed out.
Yeah. I use the broken table as like clean off everything, use it as like a flat surface that doesn't have any garbage on it.
Well, over the next few hours, as you guys that are staying in there, she offers a meal if you want it, and
Accept.
you note that she just kind of glides around, mending the table, mending a chair. You see objects moving on their own, being placed back in order, as if something invisible were moving these things.
Like
The
a,
help that you did.
She's more than enough.
Like she has a servant we can't see.
yeah, almost as if her servants
Yeah,
can't
something
see.
like that. And so yeah, these things are happening. And she just very deftly, very almost like she's unaware, but you can tell that she's paying attention as she's directing them, almost like an orchestra, to do this and do that. Just in a flighty way. Anything that you guys might have helped her do initially that wasn't done exactly to her satisfaction, which is almost everything, is reorganized and put the way she wants. And by the time there's a bubbling cauldron on the hearth, stew of vegetables and beef and so forth, just filling the room with this incredible scent. Your stomach's growling, crusty bread coming out from the oven set aside, all of it being manipulated invisibly and placed upon the table. Bowls as well, and there's a big barrel full of cider, apple cider, that has a bit of a kick to it, like some alcohol in it, that she offers as well to all of you to enjoy. And she immediately, very daintily, taking a few sips of the stew and not really just pushing the meat aside, maybe crunching a carrot or something that she pulls out, drinking the cider, from a teacup as she looks over all of you gathered around.
So, Borax will thank her very profusely for the healing potion and say he has obviously nowhere near her skills and talents, but if she needs any assistance with anything, he has a modicum of experience. He can help her upstairs or...
Oh.
Good to know. Good to know, old fellow. And then just kind of eyes just wander around the room. Are you trying to persuade her of something? Or
No, I
just-
was trying to offer assistance with an alchemical whatever.
Not not the other kind of assistant.
No, that's why I said not.
Whatever.
That's why I said
Or
not.
upstairs,
Well,
not
I didn't mean
downstairs.
necessarily that way, just anything that you were trying to persuade her of. But she doesn't seem like she's going to go do any work at this point. She's just enjoying having people around. And the conversation is very light and general. But as the evening wears on, whoever's staying, of course, she offers the whole downstairs area. You can warm yourself by the hearth. She has blankets that she retrieves from upstairs and pillows and so forth that she offers all of you to utilize. Not carrying them herself, but they seem to kind of like move behind her as she comes down the steps and sits in a chair that she's mended by the table as the rest of you find your place. If Twig is still there.
Twig's been outside in the trees.
Okay. And as the light goes down with her movement of her hands, torches going out and a few candles that are lit have been doused as well, just a few on for a little bit of light. Sitting there in the darkness but with the slight glow of one of the nearby candles, sipping her tea, which is actually cider. Would you like me to tell you about the wars?
Certainly.
Sure.
Okay.
A good tale by the fire is always a great way to end an evening.
And over the next several hours, or as long as you listen,
Till I fall asleep.
she basically lays out these nightmarish visions of death and disease, the Red Death that's already plaguing the Flannis, and the kingdoms in strife with each other, the evil creatures coming from the north, gathering in the north, the Horn Society and Uz and all of those that are arrayed against the forces of good and Friundi and Nyrund and so forth, and how the very shape of these kingdoms will change when the wars are over. And she speaks of magic in ways of powerful magics arrayed on each side that are used against each other, destroying hundreds and thousands, as the powers vie for control of the Flannis, and lays it out in all the grotesque, gory detail that is just hard to fall asleep on as they leave you with nightmares. Until finally, she seems satisfied with what she has said, told you the words that she needed to say.
I took out my notebook and was taking notes with references
Okay.
to probably regions and different things that I could use as yeah, this is who I can imply this is for, this is her name, this is her, just writing down notes.
Okay.
Of
And she's
that.
not specific about people or specific
Oh, I know.
places other than the good versus evil.
I'm not talking. I know. I'm talking about specific people in case I need to
Okay.
spew any sort of nonsense. This is something I can reference.
And she has a haunted look in her eyes, and you can tell she takes no glee or satisfaction or joy from the telling, only the need to tell. And then finally, she sets down her cup of cider. I bid you good night. And she glides up the stairway. And that's where we'll end our session tonight.
Can I sleep with someone else?
Twig is just blissfully asleep with the minute details she got upstairs. And no nightmares.
Thank you.
Yes.
Put my bedroll next to you.
So a dark and dreary future if it were true. Who knows? But
Wait, someone build an ark.
But you guys have much more pressing issues to worry about than a war that's going to happen in a decade or so or less. For now, we leave it at that and see what happens with our group finally finding their way out, hopefully, of
Hopefully.
the Gnarley Wood and back to civilization. And then on to Greyhawk, perhaps. Or who knows
Yay.
where their trail might find them.
Going home.
Yep. See you next time.
Good
Level
night.
2.
Hey, one skeletal
Let's just skip to 3.
round is not
There
going
was
to be
also a
too
bar fight.
There was.
And
There
a
was
bar
no
fight. 2 people died.
That's true.
It's
Two people did die.
And
Forget the trial.
And a trial.
Yeah.
You just commented.
I agree. I
We,
agree.
we circumvented the orc encounter. I think that's
We
still
did.
full
That's true.
XP.
That's good.
Nah, see, we would have
At
leveled
least
up.
one of you some experience.